So guys, you will travel to the furthest reaches of explored space beyond the Calexis sector, far from the light of the Astronomicon. And here at the frontier is a stable warp rift known as the Miasma, which is not unlike the Eye of Terror. And here the laws of reality are held in abeyance. Here, in the Miasma, the great game is fought. The great conflict between the four major powers of chaos. And the key to it all is the wandering world, the beggar world. And on this world is the key to controlling the warp rift and all the power that it contains. So the beggar world vanishes for millennia at a time, but when it resurfaces from the warp, the great powers fight to control it. But so far, for an aeon, none of them have gained ascendancy over the others. But this time, this cycle, it is different. This time there will be a victor, and the victor will hold the power to shatter the physical realm and make it into the realm of chaos, and to make it into the image of their patron. Or they will have the power to close the rift and to end the threat to humanity. For this time, there is a fifth avatar. This one represents another god, the God Emperor of mankind. And your decisions shall shape this conflict. So there's my pitch. I don't know if Hayden's even listening. Listening, buddy? Yay! Still with us? Cool. So the central themes of this game, one of the main themes that the game will have is it is a sandbox. What I mean by that is that you'll have a very large amount of freedom with how the game will be shaped. As in, you'll be able to, alter the flow of the game. You'll be able to build things up, change things. So you've had a lot more control over the game than you would normally get. One of the main parts of that is the crossroads I've been offering you, where you've actually been able to change your allegiance and join a completely different side. And I've given you that option a few times. So another central theme is that of subversion. I've been trying to subvert your expectations and trying to run a game which is quite different to anything you might have expected, or anything that you'll ever play again or have ever played before. And I hope that I've succeeded there. I hope that none of you 2 years ago would have predicted where we'd have got to. Other central themes are corruption. As you are around a warp rift, your characters have been slowly but inevitably been corrupted. Some of them even gaining malignancies and or mutations. And other themes of the game are paranoia, threat and conflict. I've been trying to keep you on your toes, kind of give you the real threat that there is, danger of dying, that if you act foolishly, you can get your characters killed, you're not sure who to trust, and that you're always in danger. And I've also tried to make quite a lot of conflict in the game. I've been called a shit-stirring GM, and that's probably very fair. So some of the things I've brought into the game are like critical failures and critical successes, the ability to choose your faction, and a lot of the inspiration I've taken are from games or books that I've read. A lot of the games I like are stuff like Colony Builders, 4X games, like ship combat. We've got ship development. So there's all these sort of things that I wanted to include in my game. So you actually have a spaceship, you get to explore or build the spaceship up. I've also wanted to have an economy in there, so you can be like a rogue trader. And the game started off with quite a low low tech, low economy. So the purchases that you made right at the start of the campaign were quite important. If you had armor at the start of the campaign, that was great. If you didn't, you were just going to have to manage without it. So to start with, it was very low tech, low economy. Oh, and I also wanted kind of politics in my game where there are different factions who you build reputation up with, and some of them you might get on with, some of them you'll anger, and so who you side with will also affect the style of the game. So that's the game that I've wanted to play. It's been a blast. I've not really told you really what I had in mind, and I've just let you discover it. It's been all over the shop, but it's been quite fun. I've had fun. There's been a lot of good bits which I've been quite enjoying. I've enjoyed setting you against each other, and and I've enjoyed you coming to the realization that everything is not quite right. But it all came to a head in the last game. I think especially Yarn is discovering more and more, and Yarn's been trying to I think save your souls, and I think it's getting more and more difficult for James not to just slaughter all these people who are getting who are treading a bit too close to the line. So what I've done now is to give another crossroads similar to what we did before. I gave you the option of choosing which path you went down, the lawful path, the chaotic path, or the neutral path. And you all chose the chaotic path, and that led us to last fortnight's game, because a couple of you rolled new characters. Hayden had to re-roll a new character because there was no place for his priestess, and he had the opportunity to roll a mutant, who James was buying on behalf of Quintius. He didn't know at the time, but James went and ended up buying Hayden's NPC, which I really enjoyed. And he also ended up recruiting Dave's NPC, Mr. Tommy Lee, who's a very special case. So James brought these two NPCs back onto the ship, and then eventually I got to reveal to James again that they were his new companions, and Cell 54 was reborn anew. And some of Cell 54's episodes have been some of my favourites. I have to say, I'm deeply in love with them. So that's where we've got to, and I'm wanting for, again, a decision tonight. I'm going to put you onto a map with 4 paths as I see it, and then I'm just going to encourage you just to discuss what you guys want and what you expect, and hopefully we can find a solution that we all agree on. And if we can't, then I'm just going to end it in a bloodbath, and we'll play D&D or something instead. So I'm going to put you onto Roll20 map, and these are the paths as I see them going forward. And it's got to the point where I have to give perhaps some spoilers now, because it's just reached a stage where it's become unsustainable, and we need to have a discussion as players. So here they are. Here are the 4 paths as I see it. So there is the loyalist path, where you're staying loyal to Lucius and to the Malevolence. In this path, the chaotic path, which is the path you're already on, you will put down the mutineers. You must embrace, or at least tolerate, chaos, and you'll sail into the heart of the Miasma and battle the Butcher King. Or you can be a mutineer. You can walk the lawful path. You can kill Lucius and destroy the Malevolence. You can end this sick filth, reject chaos, and bring down the Void Shields to allow the Grey Knights to teleport on board. Or you could walk a neutral path, where you abandon the Malevolence at Ridge Station, take whatever you can steal or whoever you can bring, and you buy or steal a ship, and you make a new path, a path that doesn't involve either Inquisitor. And you can find a new purpose, be that piracy or mercenary work or bounty hunters or traders, and you can either find a new home, or you can make your way back to the Calexis sector. And if you can't agree, which I hope that won't be the case, but if you can't agree, then all your characters can pick a side, fight amongst themselves, and kill each other off, and we can just end it in a bloodbath. So these are the four main ways I see the campaign progressing. Some of these campaigns are long, some of them are quite short, So yeah, that's it. I've said my piece. Firstly, I hope you've all enjoyed it up to now.
Yeah,
very much so. And also, like, going with the just dumping us in the thick of it. Like, the thing I enjoyed most about Star Wars Galaxies was that we didn't know what we were doing when we started. It's the first time we fucked about with like an MMO, and it was just a trip. So yeah, I think doing that is there's something very special about that, and I think that's worked out for the best.
Yeah, I don't think it would have been the same if you'd have... The spiel that you gave us 10 minutes ago about what you wanted to do with your campaign, I don't think your campaign would have felt the same if you'd actually given us that.
Yeah.
As a session 0, it would have been a bit of a spoiler. Like, now we know, that everything's shady as fuck. But to go into a game going, everything's shady as fuck, it would have taken something away, I think.
Yeah.
I've taken some liberties because I know you're all my friends, and I know I can get away with quite a lot. And I could never run this game with anyone other than you guys. It just wouldn't work with a normal group, would it, Dave? I'm sure you can agree.
A normal
There's no
group.
way. You know what I mean? Like, if you went and you got some normal people off the internet and you made a game and then you went through this, they just all abandon it.
Yeah, definitely.
So, Hayden, you're still muted. Speak, Hayden.
Pussies, why would they abandon such a glorious game?
But anyway, it's been a bit. I've taken a lot of fun in like I say, subverting expectations, causing mischief, setting you against each other.
I really enjoy this game. I really enjoy playing Alexa because Alexa's actually something that I'll never be. She's good with tech, genius, and she's also a woman. Although the third option is, it's possible. It's not something that I get to explore in my own life. So it's interesting playing that, and it's also, I think she's sort of walking a neutral path anyway, because she sort of walks the path and sort of focused on anything else. I don't think she's particularly. She could go either way. She's not, she's not going to be. I don't think she even sees good and evil. She just sees projects or tasks that need to be completed. So I don't really, I don't really, I could go either way. What I do know is I don't want to stop playing Alexa because I really enjoy playing Alexa. But I do sort of like the idea of us all killing each other. I think that's quite cool. You know what I mean? But can we just eke it out a little bit so I can create a servitor army that I can then switch to my control before we do that?
Well, that'd probably help you win any bloodbath if you had a servitor army, Johnny. That's probably unfair.
That was the plan. It was that.
Servitor army and the ship.
If we were going to become mutineers, I wanted to basically get to a stage where I could program these servitors to have like an executive order, so I could just go right, executive order 66, and then just basically purge the whole ship of the people. What I would perceive as heretics, or things like that. So like the machines sort of take over and that sort of thing. That was the sort of chaotic thing going down with Alexa. But at the same time, and that's owing loyalty more to the ship than to the Inquisitor or any particular alignment or faction. So that's not really. So like I say, I can go either way.
Sounds like you're happy with either one of the 4 options. Is that's
any of them? Honestly, I'm easy. I could go either way. Like the sort of mutant thing's cool. It's really cool. I think it's a point. It just creates a bit of confusion really as to, because we can't. This is like a secret sort of part of the on the ship at the moment. It's quite a secret thing that's going on, and it's like I sometimes wonder how that's going to gel with what's our overall mission with the ship. I mean, I like the idea of them going off on this hunt to sort of hunt down this murder or whatever. That's pretty cool. But at the same time, it's like, we're working with fucking mutants, man. We just basically destroyed. Having said that, Alexa is a mutant, so it doesn't really matter. But that can be remedied. But sometimes the most zealous people are, projecting out there. Let's face it. So it's like,
Yeah. It's like all those like rabidly anti-homosexual preachers in America that always get caught like getting sucked off in a toilet or something like that. You know?
Basically, exactly. That's exactly it. It's like it's like the hypocrisy. It's like
delicious hypocrisy.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like
You can hate without wanting to take.
Just wholesome Christian.
Wholesome Christian hatred.
No,
but it should be forgiveness.
Okay, yes, thanks, Johnny. I think it's maybe best if we all, like say a bit of a piece, really. And I think Johnny has got no preference between 4 paths. Is that what you tell me? You're going to stay?
No, I'm pretty easy. I'd say in this campaign, Alexa's my main character. So, and I think she's like I say,
that's always going to be the case, mate.
She's not particularly chaotic. She's not particularly chaotic. She's not really lying to anybody but the ship. So
this is a decision for for the players, as in James, Jonathan, Hayden, and Dave. It's not a decision for Alexa.
Yeah.
It's what do we want to do? And I really want to find a game where all of us are happy and our alignment, our expectations are aligned. That we can carry. I think everyone would like to carry on the game in one form or another.
I'd like to kick ass for the Emperor. The idea of the Emperor being like this fifth god in this power play. I think the idea of like doing that, it seems like the most inquisitorial thing we could possibly do. Winning, saving mankind through defeating the ruinous powers. That seems like a pretty fucking cool route to go down. Maybe some divine. We might even get. Who knows? We might even encounter some divine intervention from the Emperor himself. That's quite, that'd be quite cool. It doesn't mean that, we're still going to encounter chaos. It just means that we're going to fight against it, or, fight our own individual battles against the corruption of the ruinous powers. You know what I mean? It's like, so, there's still that chaotic element in there, even if we go like full loyalists. So it's like, even if we go down that way, there's always a good. So I'm not, like I say, I don't mind.
That's fine, Johnny. You just stay on the fence. It's not a problem, buddy. You just stay on the fence. It's cool. So what I think's going to happen is that all 4 people are going to be happy with whatever the group decides. I think that's the way it is. But I want to know if anyone has anything else to say, or if anyone wants to chip in, because otherwise, if we can't decide, we're just gonna, I don't know.
The only path I don't want to go down is the lawful path.
So you don't want to go lawful, you want to go neutral.
I would either do Deserter, Loyalist Chaos Path. Don't want to do Bloodbath either. I'm really stuck between those two. I've done lawful games. I've done lawful games with sort of Dave's games, I feel, and I was enjoying the vibe of darkness in this game. My own way. Plus, the police.
I do like how you went totally in at the deep end with darkness, and then James kind of pulled you back from.
I know. Well,
I thought that was a good little arc. That was a lot of fun. Even though both of you might have found that quite difficult at the time, probably outside your comfort zone. And I think it was quite good, quite interesting, certainly for the people who weren't really in the firing line, supposedly. You know what I mean? Especially, I really enjoyed when I said, "Here are your options, James. What are you going to do? Are you going to aggress him in? Are you going to slit his throat?" I really enjoyed that. You know, I mean, that really tickled me in my. That really tickled my, my GM spot. And I don't know.
With having a mutant character as well, doesn't really put me down the lawful path at all. It's going to get burned.
I would argue that it could. There's mutants that literally work for the Emperor.
Guys, one thing I need to be very clear on is that I gave these choices before. Now, if you'd have gone straight down the lawful path, that would have made it quite easy. But we went down the chaotic path. Now, if we're going to turn again, I'll tell you straight up that Spinebreaker's not going to want Cell 54 on the team, and he shouldn't, because they're an abomination. You know what I mean? So we can't take Cell 54 down that path. You just have to be honest that you know, that's a complication we've made, you know, and I've still got to be honest to my game, and I can only fudge it so far. Is that you know these guys are chaotic path players.
Accidents happen all the time on Body Malevolence, Alan. It's like it's not like an accident couldn't be orchestrated. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm not saying, you know, but, you know, what I'm saying is if you want to go down that path, that's fine, but you maybe have to make new NPCs that were more aligned
Just
with a different path, right? You know, I mean, making new characters not the end of the world. I mean, I love Cell 54 to bits, but you know, we could always just make a new Cell 54, a new Cell 54. I don't know.
Well, yeah,
Hayden, go on, carry on. Sorry, mate. You,
I don't know. Cletus is like someone I really feel like I've got a good vibe with. I really like the guy.
Yeah, he's cool.
I really like the guy. I was so happy when I got to find out that I was going to be a mutant and not being a standard human. It was like exciting to me, and it kind of softened the blow of like not being a seductive French nun anymore. And I don't want to really start a third NPC character again. Like I've got a second one already. The other one's had to be ousted by this four-way path already.
I wonder what happened to Sister Clematis.
Probably like watching Spinebreaker's boots.
Yeah. So you're leaning towards chaos or neutral. Is that right?
Yeah, I'm leaning towards those because I don't want to get rid of my mutant.
You don't want neutral.
I just don't want to lose Cletus. Really, that's all.
Okay.
I really like the guy.
That's fair enough. I like it.
So Yarn is either lawful or neutral, the worst. Yarn rejects the chaotic path, and I'll just have to pick someone or something else, or do something else if we're going to go down that route. I'm not taking Yarn.
I'd keep Arnie, but I mean, I wouldn't want to see Yarn go because it's the main group. I mean, after all, Cell 54.
No matter. Everything is transient, but I'd rather not go down that route with Yarn. I'd rather either go off on some kind of neutral, like Lost Jedi arc with him, or just butcher everybody in the fucking shit because it's wrong. And I'd quite enjoy doing that. But alright, as far as I can get before he turns into a spawn. Which, you know, I think that happens in like in the when the Space Wolves come knocking on Prospero and there's all the Thousand Suns turning into spawn because they're throwing power out like no tomorrow, yeah, like and yeah, I imagine that's kind of like Yarn, to be honest. But yeah, I like Nyx is pragmatic. Nyx do whatever, don't give a shit.
Don't mind.
Like I just also like I say, this is a decision for us as players, not for the characters. I mean, I understand that the characters are part of your decision-making process, but
Yeah.
it's still for a decision. Because a few of you saying, "Oh, so and so would do this, so and so would do that." I mean, yeah, it's for us as players to choose.
Yeah.
The characters you can either drag them along or replace them, but you know, you can normally fudge characters to a degree, but if you can't, you can always bugger them off. But I don't think anyone wants to see Yarn go because I think he's. Ideally, I would like to keep. In an ideal world, I'd like to keep all of the 4 players in Selfridge 3 and all of the 4 players in Selfridge 4 and keep it all intact. That would be my ideal goal, but I don't know if that's possible.
Yeah.
Well, mixing Deserter and Mutineer at the same time. Whoa, but not being.
Why don't you fuck off,
fighting with ourselves?
You asked me my opinion.
All right, but now I don't like your opinion. You want to do a cross for Mutineer and Desert. How does that work?
You just don't join Spinebreaker.
Okay, so you're going to overthrow the ship and then
leave it adrift while taking your ship.
Scuttle the ship.
Well, there's...
We haven't done any scuttling in any role.
No. I did actually nearly put the word scuttle in there, but
yeah.
Instead of destroying the level, it should have been scuttled.
It's a word.
Yeah,
Great word. It's not
Yeah.
used enough.
sometimes really old school things are the best.
I regret not using it now.
Hmm.
So have you got anything more that you want to say on it, James? So you don't think you can take Yarn down? That makes a lot of sense with the way it's been playing out, and that's
Yeah.
also the heart of the conflict, which has led us to tonight in the session 0.
It is, yeah. I don't think I just can't let that go as Jan.
I get that, and I understand.
Yeah, and like I'm not going to push anyone to do anything else. We'll just come up with a reason, if and why, and whatever. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing to stop us from fudging all sorts of things to kind of make this work. But I understand, and I think Dave also understands. You're very character driven, and in your mind, Yarn can't go down that path. And I know, and that makes sense. And it's also the way you've been playing it up to now.
Yeah, I think you might be beyond.
I've seen this. I've seen this for a very long time as well, which is why I know that this has been brewing under the surface for at least the best part of a year.
Yeah.
I've kept it going for long enough, but it can't. It's become unsustainable.
Yeah. I've always thought this is, radical, and he can understand why you would use fire to fight fire, but it's always for the greater good at the heart of it. It's always for some decent reason, and if it's, just to further the ends of a chaos champion, then I think he's pretty much had enough of this shit. The mutants, the everything. Although, like, the mutants aren't that bad, like, you look at the region of space we're in, that's the nature of the manpower in this sector. It's how deep, knee deep we are in the stuff of chaos. So, and that's not as bad as using a demon host. So I don't think that's specifically really the problem. The problem is that there's just, the whole ship is likely possessed.
So just to take Yarn out of the equation, though, do you have a preference for one of the 3 paths?
Difficult, because that's what a character's choosing.
No, I'm asking you as a player.
No.
What is the decision as the players? As in, do you have a preference for James to choose? You leave your characters out of it for now. That's what I keep trying to get across to people. I would like us as 5 players, ideally, to be happy with the path that the game takes. And so far, only Hayden's actually committed to anything other than all 3 of those paths. Hayden's gone down to 2, which is kind of
decisive.
Oh yeah. So, as far as I'm concerned, lawful or neutral.
Awful or neutral. Okay. So Hayden's on. I mean, this is exactly where I kind of feel like Hayden's chaotic or neutral. James is lawful or neutral. Johnny is any of it. Dave, have you got a? I kind of know where you are already, but if you want to.
Yeah, I mean,
your opinions to the group, please.
I'm easy. After fucking decades of being a forever GM/DM, Quintius was my first ever character. This was my first ever campaign where I've got to be a player. So I'm just happy. I'm just happy to be here, guys. I'm happy to be a part of it. And I really
have you here with us.
I really don't. I don't have any strong feelings either way as to which path we go. Having said that, there is one path I'd rather not go, and that is just to be really awkward, the neutral path. But I'm not saying I'm against it. I am happy to go down that path. But if I had to, I have to be honest and say that's the one I have the least interest in. But I will go down that path if that's one we all align on. It's not a problem.
Okay. So I would also.
Now that you come to mention it, it's like the neutral path. I'd rather pick. I'd rather be one or the other. You know what I mean? It's like the neutral path is like, we're not fighting for a greater purpose then. So it doesn't seem nearly. There's no. It's just I don't know.
Well,
I prefer to have a game with purpose behind it. You know what I mean? It's like we've got a mission. You know what I mean?
This is also what I'd like to say as well, guys. Is that of all the paths I've put to you, the neutral path is my least favourite, and the main reason for that is, I've kind of made this story, made this plot. If I do it this way, it's almost like saying, oh well, I've basically built up the ship for the last year. Developing, the ship, so you've been learning more and more about it. It's like we're gonna bug all that off, and now it's basically you have to start all over again. So I have to basically make a new campaign, which I would do, but it's my least favourite option. I think if anyone who knows my favourite option, or anyone who knows me at all knows my favourite, which is why I've kind of put it there in the first place, which is obviously the chaotic path. And I was really happy when you did pick it in the first instance.
Wanted to see the long game out.
I would still do a neutral path game if that's what you wanted, but the problem with the problem with it for me is that I just have to fuck off a lot of the work I've done and start again. And it also it just means I have to basically it's almost like resetting the campaign in a sense. And I would do that if that's what you wanted, but it's my least favourite option of the. So now that we've all discussed, we've all got our own preferences, and there seems to be a complete dispersion of opinions, which is exactly where I thought we might be. Everything is going exactly as I have foreseen. So now, where do we go here? Now what do we do? Now how do we resolve this little pickle that we found ourselves within?
Roll a d10.
Quite a little pickle it is, isn't it?
We all roll.
I'm gonna get a cup of tea if you want to have a little chat amongst yourselves, and I'm gonna get a cup of tea and go for a wee, and then we get to the nitty gritty of it.
Okay.
And if you don't decide, you can just fight and kill each other off, and we'll just fuck it off as a bad job, and we'll just bin it. We'll just yeet it into the warp rift.
From whence it came.
Okay, so anyway, so have a little think, and I'll be back.
Throw Alan's baby right in the bin.
Drown that baby and flush it into a blender.
Yeah.
It belongs. It doesn't deserve to.
Down the toilet.
But it's been a blast. So even if we can't, I would like to make a way forward. I think everyone wants there to be a resolution. So, and we've got another 3 hours, guys. We can get a resolution, right? We don't need to actually play a game tonight. We can just chew this out for another 3 hours.
Yeah. So, James.
Yes.
So you say you as James don't want to play a chaotic path.
I think if anything, Jan's going to try and get home. So if I have to be chaotic until he finds that chance, then there are ways and means to do it. But no, Jan's the only one who's he's the one who kind of met the Emperor. I just don't think he's going to turn. I think he's been trying to remain stoic all along, and I just don't want to betray it and go down I don't know why.
The irony, of course, of that is that as a mutant, which Jan is, and also as someone born on Dusk, he's probably the most likely person to be corrupted out of the whole group. Yeah. I've read up on Dusk. I know what it is.
Yeah. But I quite like that. There's little pockets of humanity that and that light doesn't get dimmed.
Yeah.
And the same for trying to do the right thing. That's kind of part of the chaotic path anyway. But I'd rather not. Jan can go. Yeah, there's various ways he could maybe get back, some kind of web way or something like that. Lots.
Isn't there a power that lets you do it?
I don't know.
I'm sure there is. The only thing about it is, I think it might be classed as sorcery.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. To somehow travel back through space and time, that kind of distance away from this area, it's quantum leap stuff in it, really. That's an interesting character development.
What, you're going to turn into Sam
Okay.
Beckett?
Yeah, just Sam Beckett my way through the universe.
Putting right heresy. Right.
Your name is Manius Kalga.
Beckett.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, just really enjoying the dirty chaos shit.
You could play chaotically as a loyalist character. You know what I mean? So you could be a complete nutcase and like chop things to pieces as a loyalist of the Emperor, and still have the whisperings of the Blood God, you know, beckoning you at every moment. But then it's resisting that corruption, or sometimes embracing it. You know what I mean? For the greater good. You know, for the mission. You know what I mean? So you can still do that. You know what I mean? It's not like you're not about to receive a fucking hefty chain axe off Alexa, is it? You know what I mean? So it's like,
Are you quite happy, like mutineering in on the ship and joining Spinebreaker and letting Grey Knights onto the Malevolence?
truthfully, I like working for you know, I like the path, you know, genuinely like the path that we're sort of on at the moment. What is adding confusion is the whole dynamic of having Cell 54. You know what I mean? Because while it's very cool, it's like almost like a game in itself. It's like they have their own separate mission already. So it's like, you know, they're gonna be the mutineers. So it's like we're sort of almost playing against ourselves in a way. So I think that's where the confusion for me is. You know, is you know, it's like, you know, it's hard for me to get to grips on the idea of that, and it's like almost like we're sort of, in a way, almost setting ourselves up for a fall if we, you know, develop these mutants and sort of, you know, give them, you know, kit them out, and you know, when they're basically, you know, when there's
So you're not
a
going to
lot
play
of
one though.
resentment from the mutants about being captured and about having the world being killed, and they are essentially like probably the greatest threat as mutineers, potential mutineers that we could encounter. So,
But I'm under the impression that the mutineers on the ship aren't the mutants. The mutineers on the ship are loyalists. They're a load of the crew that is still loyal to the Emperor.
yeah,
I would think if the mutants are ever going to turn, that'll come at the when we go to fight the Butcher. They're chaotic in nature, and they'll, I suppose, yeah. I don't know. Lucius he's a sly one. He's chaotic in nature, but using the
James, Radical's Handbook, page 170. Create door. The sorcerer summons a burning doorway from thin air. The doorway may be used to transport the sorcerer anywhere he can clearly recall in his mind.
wow.
However, the problem is it's an arcana power, so it's technically a chaos power. You know, Jan could basically, you know, play along while he tries to frantically learn of this ancient power that he's heard of that could get him home, and maybe get corrupted on the way and end up going, fuck it, I'll stay now.
Yeah. Yeah. Doable.
If we'll pick any path, just keep the game going, what we're all happiest playing. Even if I don't want to like side with Spinebreaker, I will do.
I don't actually really want to do the lawful path with Laurel. Okay, there's elements of mutiny and elements of bloodbath that I quite like, but But neither is really, and Deserter is also like, I think that's quite fun.
Yeah, the only problem with the whole desert path is like, you know, it could feel a little bit rudderless, you know. Where it's
Yeah.
like, you know, if we're sort of choosing like, you know, like, yeah, if we're going to the chaos, yeah, we're sort of feeling we're going to chaos, we're going like the evil, we're going to, you know,
Breaking up
sort of
on
righteous path. We're sort of good guys. We're going to be, you know, doing our thing for the God Emperor and stuff. And like that sort of clear. The neutral path really doesn't appeal to me. It's got to be one extreme or the other. So that's, you know, not only would that be harder for Alan, you know, to do, but I think it'd be, you know, I just don't. I think it'd feel rudderless. You know, I mean, it's nothing to stop us from. We could go down the right path, you know, take over the ship, you know, kill Lucius, turn Lucius, you know, away from this sort of like chaotic route that he's still trying to do. Otherwise, go hang on a second. We need to do this right, otherwise we're going to be dragged down, like, you know, down into the abyss with it. No, nothing to. What do you guys think?
And a bit of background noise from you, Hen.
I think he's got a cow in the
So
room from the sound
it's
of it.
Owen making raspberry noises. Owen,
Silence, Owen!
it's hard, isn't it? Hard choice because
It's a really difficult thing, you know, because it's quite enjoying the route that we sort of, you know, Soul 53 is going down, you know, where we're sort of like, you know, doing all the different bits and pieces. Like, I really enjoy all that side. I really enjoy like the crafting side of things. So it's like, you know, that's really cool. Like, and that's more neutral than anything else. I could get, you know, but yeah, you know, the mutant thing. It's like, I think it's. It's cool. It's cool, but it's I don't know. It just seems. Well, it's very chaotic, isn't it? So, you know, somebody else talk. Like I say, I'm on the fence with it. Like either or.
you're saying either loyalist or lawful good, are you? Basically, loyalist.
I'm not bothered. Like I'm not
Celtic
I'll go either
or
way. You know,
lawful path.
sort
That's what you're saying, isn't it?
I'm neutral in terms of which direction we go, but not. I don't want to go on the neutral path. Because that seems a little bit rudderless to me. Yeah, we've got to come down one side. Are we the goodies or are we the baddies?
Didn't we start out as working for Dave's Inquisitor?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Inquisitor Varric hired you all, and then he gave you to Lucius. Lucius comes back every 12 years or so. He restocked, and he traded something which we never really revealed or decided. He traded something to Varric, and Varric gave him a couple of cells of Inquisitors. And he also stitched Lucius up by giving him a unsanctioned psyker, which he thought was hilarious. Yeah, so I don't think Varric actually likes Lucius very much, but he used him for his own ends, and you guys were payment. But yes, you started off with Varric, but again, that's got nothing to do with the decision that we, as 5 players, choose. You know what I mean? As in, you know what I mean? It's like where do you want the game to go, guys? Do you want to be like Johnny said? Do you want to be the goodies or the baddies, or kind of neither? I suppose. Like say make your own game, which is neutral. Or just kill each other. That's the four ways that there were 4 ways forward I see.
I thought we were just murder each
hold
other.
on. Let's also say one thing I meant to put in my game. The pretext was The game is meant to be a bit morally ambiguous in the sense it's not good versus evil, it's not black versus white. It is many shades of grey, not the bondage thing, but there's many shades of grey because that's what real life is like. You know, everyone who's good has some evil in them, and everyone who's evil has some good in them. And you know, Spinebreaker isn't a goodie.
Mm.
You know, and Lucius isn't a baddie. You know, it's just that they are flip sides of the coin. So it's not as clear cut as goodies versus baddies because that's my game isn't that black and white. It's more nuanced than that, and I don't want it just to be goodies versus baddies. But it's definitely right that those two paths have the most. I don't know. It's the most story behind them, the most direction. Well, the neutral path is almost like a pure sandbox. In the, you know, do you find your way home? Do you take a new path? Do you try and get back to Collector Sector? It really is completely up to you. And then the whole campaign kind of goes on as we are now, where 4 people can't agree. And you know, and I do think it would be a little bit rudderless, but it could also be a lot of fun. You know? It could be a completely open universe sort of sandbox. Could be.
But yeah, I did say Jan needs a new purpose, really, because like the problem is that it's an impossible task, you know, to keep everyone straight and narrow in the situation. So maybe like if he can find a different way out, then yeah, can keep doing the chaotic one. Not really. Yeah.
But you're obviously not feeling that. That's the problem. I think there's a number of ways I could think to get him out of there.
Yeah.
Because almost anything can be fudged. Like I said before, even Hulk Hogan was a heel at some points. As was The Rock. So you know, if Hulk Hogan can turn baddie, then so can Yarn. I'm not saying. I just said before there's no baddies and goodies, but you know what I mean. There's always a way.
Like I said while you were,
intangible.
I think while you were AFK, Al, I think I said to James that if anyone is likely to be corrupted, it is Yarn. You know, a fucking psyker from Dusk. It's from a story point of view, you know, Yarn could turn. I don't think that's the issue. I think it's James not wanting to play that is
that's fine.
Matters, doesn't it?
Yeah, there's loads of ways. That book's a really good start. If anything, even if I wanted to get out of here, I think I'd still have to go and get the book and study.
That's why I kind of put it in. That was to corrupt him if that's where you wanted to go.
Yeah.
I feel quite strongly against that.
His heels in, but yeah, that's the problem really. Is Jan's digging his heels, and Jan needs a different way out now. It's that whole slaughter everybody.
The point I'm trying to make to you, James, is that Yarn is your creation, and you can change him. He doesn't. You control him. He doesn't control you. So if you want him to be different in certain ways, you know you can fudge him in any which way you wanted to. But if you don't want to, I mean, the thing is I said to you, because me and James had a chat the other day, and it's very important for me that you know that everyone is enjoying it. I don't want to make a game that you know that some of you are enjoying, but you know, Brownie obviously has been. You said it was exhausting. You know what I mean? You've been trying to keep on the straight and narrow, and it's impossible. I gave James this mission: save the souls of you three. And in my notes it says James impossible side quest: save Alexa's soul, save Arnold's soul, save Quincy's soul. And I never expected him to succeed with any one of you, but he has succeeded, or kind of succeeded with Hayden, with Arnold rather. That made for a great story. I thought that was a great little arc. But I never thought he'd succeed, but he did. And I really didn't think he'd succeed getting Alex away from the ship, but maybe he will, you know. But it was down there. And I said when I wrote the story, I thought this is a side quest. It's impossible, but you know, maybe who knows? And sometimes I give you quests that I think you can't do, or that you literally can't do. I've literally given you side quests that are impossible. You know, that's just the kind of guy I am. You're welcome.
Well, it's like because of what Yarn did to Arnie, that's why I was more abrupt with the unit, with mutants, my own character.
Yeah, the whole game's been growing organically, and that's the joy of it.
Yes, yeah. It's a shame to fuck it off.
Yeah, I think so.
Baby, don't put it in the blender. I beg you. Yeet.
Just because the baby has 4 eyes, it doesn't mean that they haven't got stuff to offer.
Doesn't mean they're not cute eyes.
In it for its own good.
Let's fire.
I think we should just. Let's just play.
No, we're not just playing. We're going to make a decision, the 4 of us, and we're not going to kick this can down the road. We're going to make a decision, or we're going to fail to make a decision, and end the game in a bloodbath. Choose! Choose your fate, and choose wisely.
Here's your ex, Arnie. Like, you know, I don't really want to end it like that. I don't really want to go down that path. You know, I want it to be an us for, just fighting amongst ourselves to the death. You know what we need. You know what the main thing is. We need something that's going to unify us as a team against the common evil or common good. So we need either a spine breaker incursion, or we need fucking chaos who's trying to attack us, or some orcs or something like that. Because that then brings us together as a team with a common purpose, as opposed to we're trying to sort of like sort out. It's like we're sort of the like this internal struggle. Both spiritually and something external to basically unite us all, one way or the other. So I think that's what we need. I think we need some sort of fucking orc attack or some Drukari pirates, or we need some fucking common enemy that we can all get our fucking teeth into, and both cells can kick the shit out of.
We'll just get along. We'll just get along together.
That still won't resolve the fact that none of us as players want to go down the same path, will it?
This is abdicating the decision, which again I don't know how to resolve it, and this has been a problem that's been brewing over for like I say about a year, and it's because people have different expectations, and something needs to change in order for us to carry on in down one of these paths, because I think no one agrees. Really, I don't think any one of us has got a similar preference.
What's the majority preference?
Everyone's got a slightly different preference, I think. Oh shit!
Majority preference is sort of.
I ripped my trousers. Oh, you could just. Oh no, I'm not going to say it. Don't say that. Don't say that, Alan.
Say it.
Yeah. Pardon me. Pardon me. So I'm sorry I've made a game which is so unstable, so awkward. And that's brought us to this point where we're all sat.
Silence. Playing it for wasted the last 2 years of our lives.
Well, it's definitely not been a waste. I think it's been a blast.
No. Johnny's right. It's been a waste of our time, Alan.
Well, I mean, that's true, but that doesn't mean that it wasn't enjoyable. So.
No, I'm totally joking when I say that. Like, you know what I mean? It's like,
go fuck yourself in your imaginary world that you created.
I don't want it to abruptly end. Because then it will be a complete waste of time. You know what I mean? Like, yes, we've had a lot of enjoyment out of it, but for it to suddenly come to an end because of the, morality issues, either path or whatever, seems pointless. So I guess if it has to resolve, I think we should resolve it with dice and with battle and a bloodbath. The old-fashioned way. That's what it comes down to. We don't go, oh, we're going good guys or bad guys. We're not going neutral either. We're just going to fucking eradicate. Cell 53 is going to eradicate Cell 54, and then we're going to see, or they're going, or vice versa, and we're going to and see who comes out on top of that. Whoever
Definitely the
comes out on
first
top of that,
option.
that's the direction the campaign goes, because that's who's asserted their dominance. You know
But
what I
then
mean?
we
And that's
still would be in exactly the same position.
exactly.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you,
But at
Dave.
least we've
Thank
killed
you,
some
Dave.
stuff
Thank
and we've
you very
evolved
much,
some
Dave.
dice.
This is a decision for 4 players who cannot agree. It's not a decision for the characters to roll dice and decide. You know, I was going to say earlier, let's just roll a dice and see. But, you know, that's just put it down to fate. I don't, you know, I think that's, you know, a bit...
I've spent
I'm not
fucking
keen on that either, you know what I mean? I just rather that we...
so long crafting a giant chain axe for Hayden. It just seems wrong to end the campaign now, just on the cusp of when he's going to get it.
We're not going to
it.
You know, it's true. It's nearly done.
It's literally very. I want to see it in action, even if it is cleaving the skull of fucking.
If it's killing Alexa.
Even even if it's fucking killing
He's
Alexa.
passing the axe.
Thank you very much, Alexa.
Glory offering style death.
That is actually a violent end to the campaign I would love to see.
Yeah.
Alexa's the first victim of her own axe. The campaign ends with Jan one end of the ship, Hayden on the other end of the ship as Arnie just running towards each other in the middle of the ship, killing everyone in their path. Just ends with them two stood in the middle of the ship, going, "Ah!"
And the ship just explodes, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. They're the last 2 people on the ship. Everyone else is dead. They've killed them all. And the ship goes, fuck off, and vents them both into space.
Yeah.
And in the background, as the ship explodes, the Chaos Gods are laughing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You know, that seems like a pretty epic ending. To,
And somewhere back on Scintilla, Inquisitor Vax just sat there going, ha 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 ha, what japes. All has proceeded exactly as I planned.
That's those little problems taken care of. Okay.
All right. Well, let's just go mutineer lawful path, and then everybody can agree.
I'm not really into being Grey Knight Bumboy, to be honest.
I don't really like Spine Breaker's Bumboy path
No.
anyway. So we get so that's out. That path is out of the question then for the area.
Yeah, I guess it is.
To allow the
So-
to allow the Knights on board. Aren't they just going to kill fucking everybody, including
well,
us?
Yes. Yeah. I'm sure that's how it ends. And
They literally
it's
will
the-
the entire ship, then scuttle it. That word we like to use. Then destroy the ship, and then that's taken care of. You know, whether they were good or bad.
yeah, definitely.
They're not in the game anymore. So
That's part and parcel of like disappearing is faking our own death. I think. You know,
Yeah.
just if you want it.
So
I mean, the option that
then.
the lawful path seems like suicide, because it's like we're just essentially setting ourselves up to be gunned down.
Yeah.
I mean, the lawful. That's why it says short campaign. I imagine. But what has popped into my head there is it could also be a jumping off point for Alan's next campaign, because there are rules to make Grey Knights.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, just jumping in,
Yeah.
like, if you'd have gone lawful path a year ago, it would have been a bit easier. But the problem is, you gone chaotic path. You chopped off the head of his horse. You basically fucked him off.
Wait, I didn't chop off the head of any horse. I tried to keep the horse alive, Alan.
If you
But horse had
went
tracker in it.
lawful path, I was going to
Well,
have
misled.
the NPCs as the Grey Knight squad. So you.
But you did
like,
find the tracking chip, so it was necessary to find and extract the tracking chip.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
it's the necessary evil.
I was going to have the Grey Knight. Basically, you'd play Grey Knights, and that'd be your NPCs if you'd have gone down that path. But it's made it a lot more difficult now in the sense that like you say, it's harder for you to join Spinebreaker now. Or probably not impossible. It's harder for you to join him once you've already betrayed him. He's not the sort of Inquisitor who forgives or forgets very readily. So
The other way we could do it is like, we could still play Grey Knights. It's just what we do is we continue to develop our characters, and then we start aside, what's going on the ship, in Spinebreaker's ship, slowly develop these characters, and then kill our own characters with the fucking Grey Knights, in a giant bloodbath, so, and then become Grey Knights.
Speaking for myself as Quintius, I think it would be a great waste of a Grey Knight's talent for one of them to kill Quintius. It's like, I mean, a heavy cold could kill Quintius. You don't need...
Bolt far expensive.
In their line, you just get you in a frag blast.
This is worthless. So, I mean, you wouldn't want to waste the blessed bolter shell off. No, I'm joking.
No,
I'm joking.
You'd just crush his head, wouldn't you, if you were a space marine?
Boot him in the face. Like,
Just slap him. Just slap him hard on the back and break his spine.
Trap his head in an airlock. You know what I mean? There's lots of ways.
There's a lot of ways of killing him, and none of them involve the use of any weapons at all.
Yeah.
It's a waste of time.
Yeah,
It's like
it's stamped on.
it'd be like using a tactical nuke to kill a spider. There's just no need for it.
Like some sort of steamrolling device. It's like, this will be your greatest role. And then he's crushing slowly. In Spinebreaker's torture chamber. And have him as wallpaper. You know what I mean? It's like, there's so many ways. Like, I don't know. I was quite enjoying it. It felt like it was gaining some traction. With the engineers and the thing. So, like, I think we're going in that direction. So that's, like I say, that could be either path. I'm not really bothered that way. But it's. Yeah. If Lucius is the, I quite like being in charge of piloting the ship. So that's a good thing. Like that'd be a good thing. It's just I feel like we need like a figurehead. If Lucius is truly chaotic and truly far gone, and we destroy him, we need to. Not necessarily go on to Spinebreaker, but then you have to have possibly Jan as the new Inquisitor, or the power struggle aboard the ship to decide who is the new Inquisitor.
Annie.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think Inquisitors generally appoint themselves, do they? So.
Well, we can do.
Quintius, this is going to be your greatest role yet, pretending to be an Inquisitor.
Hello, my name's Inquisitor Quintius. Yes, it's got a nice ring to it.
Quintius the third. Actuate on this Quintius, you've got surrounded by Grey Knights.
It'd have to have a fake name, wouldn't it? It'd be like, my name's Ian, Inquisitor Ian Quizzical. It'd have to be something fucking stupid.
And Skinner.
Sally Skinner, Inquisitor Sally Skinner.
It's a brilliant name, that, I tell you.
I can't believe that was a real gravestone. I swear that's a joke gravestone.
There's no one else thought, like, the one thing that no one else has mentioned about that gravestone yet is, what was Hayden doing rummaging around in a cemetery? I mean, I think it's a question we don't want an answer to.
Saying that only you could find humour in a graveyard.
Doctors will pay about 5 guineas for a freshly.
That was meant as a compliment, by the way. That was meant as a compliment because I was quite tickled by it.
He was looking for a corpse buried on this exact date 100 years ago for the next stage of his dark ritual that he performs every week.
I've got a bit of beating to do since my last game, don't I? The police round from my last game. I had the police round from my last game, Johnny. What I hosted.
Did you?
Yeah, it was brilliant. He live streamed getting cautioned by the police. It was fantastic.
I mean, I don't know how me and Dave are meant to compete with this sort of.
We were,
top tier.
me and Al were literally crying with laughter.
Busted by the Inquisition. You know what I mean?
Dark heretic.
we could just hear Hayden every now and then going, "Oh, what was I supposed to do? I'm a big man and I get angry because I quit smoking."
Yeah, when we realised we were actually going to get to hear it all.
Yeah.
I was so happy. It's like, we can hear it. We can hear it.
It's not like they're going to turn around and say,
oh my Lord,
yeah, you've got a good point there. That's perfectly acceptable.
Yeah. You should have hit him twice. We'd have let you off.
Yeah. Yeah, if you'd have killed him, he wouldn't have even reported it. You know what I mean?
Finish the job properly next
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
You know.
Next time, cover your
Mittens.
tracks, Mr. Walker.
Don't throw gloves at delivery drivers.
I mean, that's a preposterous thing to do, isn't it? So.
He felt threatened by it.
He did.
Because he's now got a cold because of you, Mr. Walker. He's got a cold. He's got man flu because of you. You know,
There is
Yourself to sleep at night.
There is a moment on the recording, actually. I still need to edit all that out and upload it. But there is a moment on the recording where you just hear Hayden go, "Assault? I threw a glove at him."
I didn't say everything.
Me and Alan were just sat there going, "Shush, Hayden, close your mouth. Stop talking to the police."
Yeah.
What did I say it? Oh, it's not as if I rammed it down his mouth or anything.
Yeah, we're like, "Shut up, Hayden, shut up."
I couldn't run. Next time I will.
What I'll do when I've edited all that out of the recording. I meant to do that today, actually. I forgot. When I've edited it out, I'll save it and I'll send it to you all privately so everyone can see it.
Please do. I feel like I've missed out on something good there.
He raised the bar from when he live streamed the death of his.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah. What's he going to do next, Alan?
I don't know how he can possibly top it. He's set the bar so high.
The Heresy police, the Dark Heresy police turned up at your house, like, you know.
It's ironic that I run a jail setting in the prison.
Yeah. I can see you streaming it from an actual jail.
There's also a bit as well where Hayden says to the
cellmate players.
there's also a bit where you can hear the woman police officer say to Hayden, "Anyway, I'll go now. Enjoy the rest of your evening." And Hayden says something like, "Yeah, I'm streaming a game of D&D." Like he explains himself to this copper at the end. Yeah, I've got to go because I'm playing D&D. And the best bit about it was he wasn't playing D&D at all. He was playing Dark Heresy. That was you lied to the police, Hayden.
Again.
They can make sure they can check that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, no, the thing's something called Dark Heresy. Right, that's it. Let's go and get him.
If he lied about that, he might have lied about everything else.
So I was shouting, "Guilty!" Like, guilty! Guilty!
That's a good friend.
You could just see Liz as well, couldn't you?
You could see Liz.
You could see Lizzie's arm, couldn't you? Like she was just stood at the side of his laptop. You could just see like her arm sort of here, like all the time. And so we were yelling and stuff. And I did wonder if Liz could hear us over Hayden's headset.
Certainly.
No, it was fantastic.
They were wondering if you could hear them screaming at my headset when the police were there.
No, it's fired.
Oh, she said if they had realised that you were there, she would have turned you round.
Yeah, all we could see was the wall. It was all happening off camera. It was fucking brilliant.
That's the other thing that makes it really funny is the fact that you lot were there.
Yeah, that is what's funny about it. The fact that you I'm off again, Alan. I'm off again. Oh dear.
It's comedy gold.
Oh fucking hell.
Sorry, I was interrupting your game with my game. I shouldn't do that.
Very bad. It's very bad form, but it's not the first.
Hob-
It's not the last
hand up.
time that you'll start talking about your own game when it's not the right moment. You know, just 'cause you want to bring the attention to yourself and talk about your own game, Hayden. I mean, you only do it every night, every time, Hayden. It's all right. Anyway, it's all good. Like I think people are almost done with trying to fail to make a decision. So I don't know. That's why we're moving away onto other tangents. It's easier to talk about anything else. So we don't
It's
need
quite
to.
fun.
We don't need to. We just kick the can down the road a bit longer.
It's quite funny because when we just said, "Oh, what about going to the Mutineer Lawful Path?" It was just kind of like, "Well, we don't like Spinebreaker."
So is that a path that's counted? Then have you actually chosen a path?
We're
that you're not
making
going?
progress here.
That's progress, right?
Yeah. So
that is a path off.
So who didn't want to do that? Hayden.
James even said, we don't like
was.
Lucius.
I think everyone was against it.
I'm not. Just to be awkward.
Yeah, that's
No.
fine.
I'm not against anything, like I said before.
Yeah, I know. And trust me,
Damn,
Dave,
you're woke.
you're always awkward. You're no more awkward than
So
normal.
woke. Have a little bit of prejudice in your life, it'll do you good.
Is he part of the woke liberati tofu eating? Whatever.
Who, Lucius?
Oh, you.
Just a
Oh, me?
pizza.
Yeah, tofu munching Twitterati. You are.
I am
Part of the
absolutely
woke
not.
mind police. You're part of the woke mind virus, Dave.
I'm absolutely not part of that at all. My wife's a vegan, and I berate her for it.
With meat.
And I can prove to you as well that my pizza was most definitely not vegan because it has pepperoni on it and real cheese.
Cheese.
Oh.
Free cheese.
So that's one path down.
What's that? Mutiny? You're not doing that.
How do we stay on the other path as well, being loyal to the Emperor? That's the
Yeah, that's a bit of a misnomer.
Spinebreaker's
In the chaotic path.
That's you're loyal. That'd be loyal to Lucius and the ship.
Right.
I'm obviously I can't help myself. I can't help myself, James. I was having a little fun with that. Obviously, it should be clear. I'm just below that embrace chaos. I mean, that's just me being me. That's me trolling as I do.
Twisting everything.
Subverting. So obviously the loyalists are not the loyalists as you would commonly call them, and the traitors are not the traitors as you would commonly call them. I've flipped that round. I've flipped the script. But anyway, that's by the by. That's by the by.
Yeah, we'll end up dead if we dare try and get Spinebreaker involved. That'll be our death
At least
sentence.
you'll have given your life for the God Emperor. Isn't that enough? Isn't it
Again?
enough to sacrifice everything for him? For him on the golden chair. Golden throne, rather. Not the golden toilet.
The golden bar stool.
Yeah, I think we should do it for. I think we should do it. You got to
You wanna go mutineer then, Johnny? Is that right?
Yeah, it looks like.
It looks that way. Just like after everyone just said, "Oh, let's get rid of that path and fuck that path off." Now Johnny's like, "Well, we need to go down this path which you just discounted." So mutineer's back on the table, guys. We're back. We've gone back. We're now back up to 4 options. For a moment we were on 3, but now we're back to 4. Soon there'll be a 5th option. When Hayden says, "Why don't we combine hybrids of these 2 paths?" And then we'll go up to 6 options.
Combine it all!
Burn it all.
Yes.
I mean, killing
Yeah, we don't know
killing
how to
fire is one option.
We'll tolerate chaos until it's time to end this sick filth, and then we will destroy the ship and hide our...
Kill each other.
pretend to die in the blast, but actually desert without any...
Shit.
Yeah, and then we end up on a shuttle floating in the void, just the four of us. And realise there's only enough food for one, and we we have a battle royale in the shuttle cargo bay, and the campaign comes to an end with Yarn standing atop our bodies with his lightsaber in his hand.
Way.
eating someone's leg.
Eating a sandwich containing all of us.
Delicious human flesh.
Like, I would just have to like
Sustain myself on the way home off the bodies of my friends. It's what you would have wanted.
Yeah, that's what I said yesterday as I dined on Otto.
It was like I could just picture this big fat man chewing on his arm, going, "It's what you would have wanted."
Well, while Cannibal lives, Otto lives on also.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. Is this an impossible place I brought us to? An impossible
I don't know.
pickle that cannot be resolved?
I'm just worried that if we don't resolve it, it's going to end up in Bath.
Yeah, I mean, it's one way to end the game, and then I say one way we do is we can bin it off and just play D&D, and I'll give you a plot, I'll give you, direction, you know what I mean, and you won't have as many choices.
Don't want to play D&D.
Yeah.
I want to play D&D. Also, Airy Fairy. I've realised this. In Jake's game. I like Dave's game because it's a bit better spoken, but it's still very airy fairy.
How is it airy fairy?
See, what he means, he wants the grim dark future. He doesn't
Want the grim darkness.
He doesn't want bloody
Fairies.
fairies and
Like your game, Dave, but I mean, it's
and paladins. He doesn't want any of that shit.
The game. I mean, that game isn't anything. It literally isn't any of those things. It's nothing. I have literally made nothing.
Sandbox? Well, good luck with that one, Dave. You made a sandbox where you...
No, I've not even made a sandbox. I have made nothing for that game. All I've done is reuse some assets for one city. You have literally experienced 5 locations in a city. You've no idea what's beyond the walls of that city because you're dicking about in the city still. There's all sorts of shit out there. It's... If you think D&D is an arcade and you need to be in my other game and see what happens in that game, I've murdered an entire children's birthday party in my other game for fun. So don't tell me D&D is not dark.
Where is this Dave? Where is this Dave?
I think...
I want to meet him.
Yeah, D&D, I guess, is what you make it, just like any other.
Yeah. And the point of Neverwinter in your game is, I'm not going to give away the point, but there's a reason that Neverwinter is coming across like some ultra woke leftist weirdo happy joy land. There's a reason for that. It's a part of the game. You haven't explored anything, so you don't know anything.
No slur on your game, Dave. It's a slur of whole.
I think what you're trying to say, Aiden, is you prefer Dark Heresy to Dungeons and Dragons.
I just prefer grim dark future.
Yeah.
We had a vote. Democracy won.
I like. I'm in systems where people talk about D&D constantly, like the Gathering and stuff like that, and stuff D&D and all that stuff, and we're all playing that stuff for like nearly 20 years. It's just nice to be in the grim dark future.
Quite though, isn't it?
It's
Like,
really nice.
in a way, it could just be Game of Thrones with extra magic. And that's pretty dark and twisted.
I just like that.
Need
Sci-fi
more
shit.
words come out of your mouth.
I just like that sci-fi shit. That's all. Lightsabers.
Yeah.
I'm happy.
I just
Yeah, you see, like, yeah. That's, have
Space
you watched Andor yet? That gets pretty dark.
no spoilers, please.
No.
I'm just a sci-fi man. I just love sci-fi.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
That's
To be
what
honest,
pretty
to
fucked
be honest, I prefer sci-fi to fantasy stuff. But we had a vote, Hayden. You were a part of that vote. And it was unanimous.
I'm really happy with your game, Dave. What I'm just saying is, so I don't want Alan's game to go because I don't want to lose that dark sci-fi shit.
Yeah, like I think it'd be tough to lose all of this, to be honest. Like I quite like, despite it being, dangerous on my psyche for the future. For some reason, like I actually quite enjoy the mind of Connell. So
Exactly.
Yeah.
I do like to
sadist.
enjoy your psyche, James. That definitely pleases me no end. So, dear. I mean, I say it's been a lot of fun up to
Whenever
this
it goes,
point. For me.
Ronald.
It's been a lot of fun up to this point because I've just been fucking about and I've been having a blast with it.
Yeah.
There's been a moment in the campaign for each of you when you realised that something was very wrong on board the ship.
Yeah.
And all of you will come to this realisation at different points. It may have been when you saw Dr. Festus. In the
Yeah,
first
I was going to say,
It
do you
may- you know
remember?
what I mean?
Do you remember when I was backing away from the initial fucking encounter in the very first episode? Yeah.
Yeah, but as I've done it, it's become. I've been raising the temperature slowly, and it should become impossible to ignore that there's something very wrong on board, And I've had a lot of fun with that. I've had a lot of fun with kind of letting you discover what's really the game's all about, and that's what's led us to this point. So, and we still seem no closer to choosing one of the 4 paths.
I don't know. If Johnny's considering the mutineer path, I think we've learned something from tonight. In that, Johnny perhaps wants something more extreme than going down the chaotic path.
So, yeah, like I say, we all just don't want to be with. We all don't want to go with Spinebreaker. We don't want to do that because it's just going to lead to a
It just flipped. Have we just flipped the plot?
He flips it around. It's the opposite.
Yeah,
That's the
yeah,
opposite when
yeah.
it comes to- The thing is, there's no discussion here. There's no listening to what everyone else is thinking, saying. We're all just saying different things. There's no alignment. So like before,
Yeah.
Johnny, you said. I think Johnny wants.
Yeah.
he
Chaos
wants to either
divided.
He wants to go chaos or lawful. That's what he
Chaos
said before.
divided. Sorry.
And then he was going to go for lawful.
Chaos
and then now
undecided,
he's
man.
flipped it.
Chaos undecided.
But I love how James
Johnny.
just described something because then Johnny didn't listen to what he said. He just flipped exactly what he said and went for the polar opposite of what James said. That was that tells us that we're doomed. This conversation is doomed. There's no resolution here. There's no
It's
agreement.
only nearly been
There's
2
only-
hours. We will get there.
No.
no reconciliation.
So,
Wants to make a choice. I always say it's the worst thing to do to a man is give him a choice.
Yeah. But my game is all about.
Everything on the-
That's fundamental thing of my game is you choose things and then
Yeah.
Suffer the consequences.
Yeah, and then kind of. Yes, exactly right. So. It'd be a lot easier just to run a more linear game where you had very, very clear objectives. But I would find that more boring, and I think you guys might find it more boring as well. You know what I mean? If it was too, too normal almost. It's like we're all veteran gamers. I think we like something a bit more. And that's what I like about Dave's games is that they are, they're like it's a layer of onions, and behind the onion is another onion, and then you open that onion, and it's
pickle.
It's just a completely different vegetable. You know
And
what
it
I mean?
turns out-
and the onion was a lie. It was just a mirage.
And then you realise that that's also got a skin to it, that other vegetable. When you peel it back, you see inside there's just a teeny tiny version of yourself made of potato.
So and that's also kind of why I've done this game. It's partly ego. It's partly just I was trying to do something that's like just so much different to what I've ever done before. Because I've done a lot of gemming back in the day, and it was nothing like this. I've never run a game like this, and there probably never will be a game just like this one. It's a special, unique game, but it's a bit weird. So. That's why people don't run games like this, because they end up in this place here.
Why this place?
They end up in limbo.
Born in the darkness.
I think there's a middle ground, isn't there, between open world sandbox and linear. which is like the perfect path to walk, but it's impossible to fucking find the path because it's so overgrown with weeds and
it's
grass that hasn't been cut for months.
There's a balancing point in between all 5 of us. There's a fulcrum there where it's just right, and it's hard to, if not impossible.
So
I do love how we're all not listening to each other. And
What did you say, Alan?
you know, it's like there's a balancing point between all 5 of us.
What?
I'm just waiting for somebody to flip flop on a decision here. Somebody's going to do it eventually.
I think there's been a lot of
Come on, Joe.
there's been a lot of fences.
1 an hour in.
I've been trying to make a gate. But that
gate
we'll
on the
walk
fence.
through together. No, yes, that's what you need. We just need a gate there so we can all walk through it.
But is it a gate of heresy?
Or is it a purity gate?
Loyalty.
Gate where we can all hold hands together, happy, see fairies.
Or is it better that we just maybe go and sleep on it, give it a few weeks, maybe mull it over time, and then come back to the
get no better.
This will get
We're all on the table right now.
I don't know.
Don't go there. We're all at the table.
We're at the table.
At the table, we need to make a choice. Otherwise, this choice will just go, oh, well, I'm alright with anything.
Oh, dear.
The most gayest of choices. The indecision choice.
Well, that's why I put specifically the indecision as a choice.
Alright, I'm voting. Let's stick with Lucius, but sort of
what?
mutineers on board, but not side with blooming Spinebreak, but something else.
5th choice.
5th choice.
Yes.
Because I don't like Spinebreak.
A new path. Well, no,
I missed half of what your suggestion was there, Hayden. You broke up.
I vote that we stay on board with Lucius. First off, if we want to stay loyal, we can make Mutineer's path, but we can do it without having to join Spinebreaker. We can do our own thing with the ship.
So you want a combination of loyalist, mutineer, and
neutral.
And neutral.
That's perfect, isn't it?
Great.
I propose a 6th choice.
Please,
Well, then,
please put forward your.
it's good. I'll concur. Does anybody like my choice?
I mean, it's well, sure. Why not? It's better than sitting and staring at the screen for the next 2 hours.
Exactly. Trying to make a happy medium.
I mean, I don't know. I brought this upon myself, and I apologise to you all for bringing you to this place tonight.
I'm enjoying the indecision.
It's fun just to chew the fat with you guys anyway.
Yeah. I mean, that is the whole point of the game is also like just an excuse to hang out and and it gives us an excuse to interact with each other, I suppose.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like that's what guys do. They need like some excuse to hang out. It'd be that like killing each other's models or something. You know what I mean? Or you know what I mean? It's like you can't just sit around and natter.
Pretend lasers each other.
That's it.
Okay, Dave, you had an idea. Idea number 6, please.
No, I didn't really. I was just being facetious.
Oh, that's rubbish. I'm really ashamed of you.
All right, then. Here's one. We all get in. All 8 characters get in Alexa's secret hidey hole. We get Alexa to vent the ship to space. We take the ship. We turn it into a massive travelling theatre. Quintius teaches everyone how to act. And we travel the universe, and each session is us putting on a play for Alan's benefit. Alan plays the role of the audience, and we perform a play for him.
Let me just add this in to
The actor's path.
the actor's path.
The fag way. No, you should just do it the fag way. Like the Film Actors Guild.
The fag way.
Does mother know you weareth her drapes?
Yeah. Each Alan's game suddenly requires zero prep from him because all he has to do is boo or applaud. I write a script and send you all it 10 minutes before each episode.
Oh no, I'm terrible at that.
The Film Actors Guild. We at Fag.
What's that, Federation Actors Guild?
Yes.
We was in that Team America. Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon.
Jad.
Yeah.
Kalaka, Durka Durka, Mohammed Jihad.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the fact that you had some jihadis in the bio.
There's been a few bits I really enjoyed. That was one of them when I just chucked a suicide bomber at Brownie and Hayden.
And yelled jihad.
Yeah, it was good for me. I mean, it might, I don't know if it was good for you guys. It's pretty good for me.
Why don't we jihad the ship?
Oh yeah, I mean, we might recall, guys. I did give you the option to join the jihadis, to join the family.
But we killed them all.
I gave you that option, and you said, "I don't want to suck Papa Nurgle's rotting chode," I think was your words or something.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
And you fucked him off, and you killed them all, skinned them, flayed them, destroyed the bayou, bombed it to fuck. And
Skin and flay those lovely people.
yeah, you took another
But
path.
Yeah, it's what the Emperor would have wanted.
Well, Spinebreak would have approved of.
Fundamentalist approved.
Well, I vote sticking with the lowest chaotic path. Maybe getting on board with the mutineers causes some.
You want to go loyalist but get on board with the mutineers. So is that loyalist or mutineer, would you say?
Mutineer, but undercover mutineer.
Do you want to go an undercover mutineer or a
undercover mutineer,
or
which is
double-
going
or-
to go
or-
neutral
or double
and
loyalist?
after having a bloodbath with the ship on the way
I
back?
mean, if you got nothing nice to say, hey, and you shouldn't say anything at all. You know what I mean?
Go on, I've got a choice. I'd go loyalist, which is chaotic path, but I'd do it so a way where what we can try converting the crew to the Emperor with Arnie. You know?
So surely that is really the lawful path.
I don't like spine breakers though. Ball breaker.
I will tell you, Hayden, if you pick the chaotic path and then you try and stay loyal, it's not going to work out because
No.
you're not going to get them all on board with
I'm
Emperor
trying.
as Arnie. You know what I mean? It's that's why I've been quite clear. I've given spoilers. I can't be any clearer with how if you go down that path, then yeah, I've put it there. I've put it there in black and white, just like I have with all of them. How I see it, and I can fudge the paths to a degree.
Right.
There are certain ways where I can't fudge it because for me it would be if I go, there's some things which don't make sense in the world that I've made in my head. If that makes sense,
All right.
So,
But what about
I
everybody
can
just
fudge it up to a
has
degree.
one path, everybody, what they want to go. Starting with Brownie, which path do you feel like you should go down at the moment where we are?
I can live with the path that we're on at the moment. I think we can stay on it, but Jarl needs to alter his goals because it's too frustrating to play.
All right.
So, but yeah, so I can. Yeah, I can stay the way I am. To be honest.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's very simple. Johnny, good path.
I could stay on the one we're on at the minute.
Yeah. Dave.
Yeah.
I've already made my statement that I'm not bothered, whichever way we go.
No, pick a path, please, Dave.
No, that's my stance. That's like saying, Dave, choose hammer or screwdriver, stab yourself in the face with, and me going, well, hang on a minute, I'm not picking a path, I'm saying I am not bothered which path. Stop trying to force me to make a decision that I'm not going to make.
Oh, well, okay. Dave's point, but we'll just go with anything what we are going to do.
Yeah, I'm quite happy to go with the majority. I've said that since the very beginning.
I know, but I mean, I was just trying to help.
It would be preferable if you all picked unanimously.
Yeah, I mean, like, it would be preferable. That's what I'm trying to do myself. And I will do where we're going with as well. So that's three, Alan. It doesn't matter if Dave's fencing.
No, that's four, because if you three are all picking that, then I'm with you. I'm not against you, am I?
You've not had a vote.
I have. I've absconded.
Absconded from responsibility.
Yeah.
Very well done.
My reason for that is, like I've said, I'm just happy to play. I would rather you guys pick the route that you want, and I am happy to slot in. There's no route we pick is going to piss me off. So I'm not going to put my name to any route. I'm letting you guys pick, and I'm just coming along for the ride, and I'm quite happy doing it that way.
I'm happy with that. Yeah, Dave is a Tartan Jedi. Liz likes your outfit, Dave.
It's incredibly warm, and I'm actually sweating. I just can't be bothered.
Kenobi! Go on, Mick Kenobi! You dropped Saber out.
We lost Johnny.
We have lost Johnny.
We lost him at a critical juncture as well. Hi, Liz. Hello.
Oh, here we are.
Johnny returns. Welcome back, Johnny.
Hello.
You with us?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, next question. How would we all like to proceed from here?
What do you mean by that?
Right, we've picked a path. Well, we've got a path picked, all right? We're happy on the same one at the moment. Dan wants to work on his ideals. Like, sir, what would you like to try do?
I'd like to just try and make the ship better and, create a Senator army.
Hey.
Just like Felroff Geld.
I'll not ask Quintus.
Yeah.
He's too busy sat on the fence.
He's too busy sat on the fence.
Well, the ship needs senators.
I'm not sitting on the fence. The fence is over there, and I'm just watching it exist.
Hey. Super helpful.
That's helpful. So, is that a decision then, guys? Can we move on?
No, that's a decision. Brownie, where do you want to see the game going for yourself?
Well, Nix isn't bothered, but Yarn would be. I can't see Yarn, although maybe, yeah.
We'd need to find a fudge for Yarn, basically, that you'd be happy with.
I think so, yeah.
A change in arc. So maybe I think what me and you do, James, is we'll have a talk outside the game at some point, and we'll
good idea.
Between us that we can make work. And if you can just avoid slaughtering them all for the time being until we have a conversation, and then
why don't you just like play Cotton Eye Joe on repeat for several days through the ship's intercom system, and that'll corrupt Yarn enough that it makes sense that he changes his goals.
That does make a lot of sense.
So once you've played it enough, Yarn's killing everything.
So guys, you've all chosen the chaotic path, is that right?
Well,
yeah.
Okay. Thanks, guys. All right, cool. We can start the game then, can't we?
Come.
Start the game.
No, well.
I'm off to bed.
Love you. Bye.
Are we gaming now then?
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's have a little game. Why not? I mean, it's more fun to talk about a game than to actually game, right?
No. Nowhere near as much fun.
Stood still on a highway. I saw a woman by the side of the road.
Get the reverb for you, buddy, James.
With his face like my own.
It's going back through your speakers and back in again.
In my window. Well, she walked up to my quarter light, and she backed down real slow. A fearful pressure paralyzed me. My shadow. She said, son, what are you doing here? My fate for you has turned me my grave. I said, Mama, come to tell your rich. She said, son, this is the road to hell.
Okay. Right.
Just looking, comparing your real life map to your map.
It's not far off, is it?
No, it's not far off at all. I want to see what Laura looks a bit more like on your page, but I can't do it. I've forgotten the name of that goblin. What used to play Neckmunder or whatever game it was.
I can't remember.
Oh, it was something. He used to have a double barrel name like Sneckers. Made a choice.
Okay, episode 44. Hot mess. It was 9 days after the orbital assault, and the timelines became aligned. Nixius had a feeling of deja vu as he went through his debrief with Laura Skysinger on the way back to their chamber that doubled as a mutant holding pen. He had little patience for it. Once they returned, the acolytes divvied up their loot. Cletus spoke with the obese mutant. Sorry. What's that, buddy? I missed that, Jay. Oh. He's talking to someone else. Where were they? Cletus spoke with the obese mutant 33. It seemed as if they were becoming friends. Cletus was quite charismatic for such an aberration. I've got to stop that, it's messing with my head. Sorry guys, I can't listen to that and read at the same time. So Courtney headed back to her room and found that, to her surprise, there was a chicken sandwich there. It was pieces of real chicken, not re-meat or meta chicken or meat substitute. The actual stuff. The bread was freshly baked. There was hydrogenated mayo and a slice of tomato. There were 4 rounds of bread and it was cut diagonally. And beside the plate was a glass of ploin juice. It seemed freshly squeezed, not from concentrate. Courtney ticked off her mission objectives and brought most of the sandwiches back for the fat mutant. And now he will be hers forever. Tommy Lee had done a bit of painting for Courtney, imparting flowers and flame onto her newly looted carapace helmet. It was becoming apparent that Tommy Lee was just a man with some paint, rather than an artist. There was a meeting planned between Nixius, Yarn, and Alexa. Nixius needed help from Cell 53 in order to further his own goals. Laura suggested using the briefing room, but Nixios, instead, he opted to bring Cell 53 here, to the holding pen. Was that wise? Things didn't take long. The slip out of control. It started with the sharing of cheese. Did Nixius really need to introduce his new mutant allies to Cell 53? Arnold, who'd tagged along with Yarn for the ride, reacted strangely to Cletus and brandished his orc chopper at him. But he seemed to warm to the lizard man after he saw the explosive collar and learnt that the mutant slaves had been purchased from Orpheus 4. Tommy Lee interjected that he was a slave too, to his art. They spoke of the other mutants, and then they went into the zoo itself to see them. They may have combat potential. Arnold looked over Fat 3366 and the free-armed dwarf builder. But when he reached Luke, he recognized him. Cell 53 had captured Luke at the conclusion of the orbital assault. After crushing the strength of the family, Luke remained at the entrance to Reptile's art gallery, and he wanted to know why. Why had they visited such destruction onto the bayou? Why had they killed so many, including women and children? Why had they laid waste to everything, all for a painting? They had taken everything from him. His home, his purpose, his father. L53 had little sympathy for Luke. He had taken him captive, and Alexa had prized the nails out of his head, only to forget about them completely. Lucius had decided to contain Luke with the other mutants. If he could be brought to heel, then fine. But if not, then Nixius was to put him down. Arnold goaded Luke and mocked him. Arnold had Reptile's head and he slept with it in his bed, he confided. This wasn't technically true. Arnold had actually gifted Reptile's flayed skull as a prize to Lucius. It was mounted in the Inquisitor's antechamber. He actually slept with the skull of Luke's brother, another one of Reptile's bastards, and the skull of the crocodile, Old One Eye. Arnold had been collecting the skulls of scaled things from Orpheus 4. He had sworn to collect 10 skulls and dedicate their deaths to Morkai. But that was before Yarn had persuaded him to turn aside from his quest. He had turned aside from his oath. Arnold Stormsinger, Oathbreaker.
Fucking shitstorm, man.
Osflayer.
Luke!
E-Capper.
Luke went...
And Flayer.
Luke went for him. As he grabbed at Arnold, the Fenrisian grabbed the back of his head and slammed the bastard's skull into the metal bars. Blood seeped from the blow and trickled from the wounds where the nails had been. Cletus jumped in. He tried to protect his brother, but Arnold threw him aside as well. And as the Fenrisian and the mutant faced off, they looked into each other's eyes and they recognized that each other was a killing machine. It was as if they had both been made purely for combat. It was as if when they looked into it was as if when they looked into each other's eyes that they were looking into a mirror. Nixius pulled rank. He ordered Arnold out of there on the authority of the Inquisitor. His job was difficult enough as it was without Arnold antagonizing his new recruits. It was exhausting. Arnold stormed out of the room. Nixius then asked Alexa for the nails that she had prized out of Luke's skull and then forgotten about. And Alexa arranged for a servo skull to go and pick them up and to bring them here. Outside the holding cell, Tommy Lee Dangerfield beseeched Yarn to let him see the Book of Lies. He sounded deranged, urgent, insistent, and he needed to see the book. He needed it. He just didn't know why. And then he got distracted by Pumpkin, Nixius's servo skull. Tommy Lee took out his revolver and aimed. Yarn needed to understand. Why did Tommy Lee need the book so bad? He decided to resort to divination again. Inside the pen, the group talked to Luke. Alexa emphasized with him. She too knew what it was like to run at 85% efficiency. Get him his nails back, and she would be whole again. Oh, sorry, he would be whole again. Luke seemed to perk up at this, but didn't respond. Tommy Lee, he started blasting. Pumpkin, Nix's servo skull, dodged nimbly out of the way. Tommy Lee was getting stranger. They were being watched, he said. Yarn entered the soothsaying ritual. Again, his prescience was a true telling. Again, the ancestors told him the secrets that he sought. But this time, it raised even more questions. He saw the history of Tommy Lee. Bayou was a hard place. It took its toll on the man. He had taken knocks and suffered, but he remained optimistic, despite being worn down, eroded. But one day, his fortune seemed to change, as he happened upon a strange thing. A hand puppet, shaped in the style of a hedgehog. A child's toy, a plaything. Mr. Prickles. Mr. Prickles offered to be his guide. He knew things. He knew so much. Yarn saw Tommy Lee talking to this hand puppet. It was Mr. Prickles. Mr. Prickles wanted to see the Book of Lies. Not Tommy Lee. It was Mr. Prickles. And that, guys, is where we shall start today's roleplay. We are all in the chamber, as you see. I'm going to ask you all to roll initiative again. I think it's probably best to keep initiative. I'm going to try and do it loosely, but I'm going to try and go around in order so everyone gets turns, and rather than everyone jumping in with all the characters. So I'll try and... It won't be like 6-second turns like in combat, but if we could just roll initiative and try... Oh, no, actually... Oh, go on. Actually, they've all popped back up again.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's keep it like that then.
Who rolled just then? I'm just going to remove... Was that...
Me.
You've regenerated the turn order for me. Can everyone see the turn order, or is it just me?
Yeah,
I can see it, yeah.
Okay, great. So I'm just going to take off that 9 of yours, Quintius. I also updated the because I know I don't think your initiative was working last turn, so hopefully now it will work.
Yeah, I just did that on the button on your screen.
But I think you tried it last time; it didn't work.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's a bit of a mess. Let's have a look. So how do you order it in ascending order?
There's a little cog. Click on that.
Just send it. Okay. So we've got 2 Arnolds there. So I'll just pick. It doesn't matter. Both the same. So and then the bin has got an initiative. Let's take the bin off.
Oh, no, that's unfair. What if the bin had something important to contribute?
Let's see. Lizardman, Courtney, Nick.
My next character is going to be a sentient bin.
Arnold, Tommy, Jan, Arnold. So there's. Oh, I'm missing an Alexa. Would you roll initiative, Alexa?
Yeah, I can do that.
You can click on it. There's an initiative button, or you can just roll D10. Oh no, it's not working. Hayden's isn't working by the looks of it. Why is
Did you select your token?
I didn't select my token this turn. No, you got to click on your token, then click initiative, don't you?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
You don't need to though.
My initiative will come up. Yeah.
But you're on there for both your characters. If you could just roll for me, Alexa, and then that'll do 9.
Sure.
So there we go. So I'm going to add you in. So even though we rolled initiative, I'm going to start with Jan on this round. And Jan, you have completed your soothsaying ritual, and it's giving you questions, but your prescience tells you that something isn't right here. Something isn't right. He's talking to a fucking puppet. That's not normal. And you haven't known Tommy Lee for very long, but he does seem to know things. His knowledge seems strange and unnatural. So, Jan, we can start with you and Tommy. So you open your eyes and you've got this new knowledge of why Tommy Lee wants the book. He wants the book because Mr. Prickles has asked him for it, has told him that he needs it. And Tommy Lee is just doing as he's told.
Ooh. Why does Mr. Prickles want the book, Tommy?
Who? I don't know who you're talking about.
We both know who I'm talking about, Tommy.
Do you want some cheese? Start backing away from Jan. Look, I don't know why he wants the book. He just tells me he wants the book. That's all I know. But I'm sure it's just because he like to maybe feel it or something. What harm can come from letting Mr. P see the book?
The book is very dangerous, Tommy. It's not for the likes of strange entities that control part of your mind.
Yeah, well, I'd be dangerous too. No, I'm not. Shut up. Huh? What? No, I mean, he just wants to look at it, Jan. Please let him look at the book. And I'm going to, start tugging at Jan's sleeve. Please, Jan, you got to let me see the book.
I have to do nothing, Tommy. You have to convince me why I should allow you to see the book.
Well, see, the thing is, Jan, I know things. We've established this before, that I know things. And, well, the reason I know things is that Mr. P, he tells me things. He tells me things that I need to know. And I'm worried that if you don't let him see the book, he's going to stop telling me the things I need to know, and then I'm going to be useless, and then you're going to throw me out that really cold door.
That's where all the useless people go. No.
Yeah.
Come on, Jan. I mean, what harm can come from it? It's just a book.
Yes, that's great, but I'd also like to see what some of the people are doing. If that's all right, can you guys pause where you are? Yeah, is that all right? So we're I just want to see what else. So I'm going to go round now. And just so we've got inside there's Cletus and Alexa. Are you doing anything while this is going on outside? Yana and Tommy having a chat. The servo skull with the nails is on its way. Should only be a few more minutes. So Cletus, you're at the top of the round. and Alexa's right beside you, and Luke's here as well. You've just agreed that you're going to take out Arnold, or at least Luke wants you on board for killing Arnold. Is there anything you want to do with Elizabeth? Or do you want to just bide your time for now?
I'm just gonna like shake my head about like killing Arnold as well, because and I'm gonna say to Alexa, be rough with him. He's never spoke to me until today, anyway. No, I don't really. He's not really met Luke before he's been on board, has he?
Arnold? No, he's.
No, Lisman Cletus.
You've talked with him a couple
Yeah,
of
he's
times.
only talked to him in the cells, but
Yeah. You've never seen him before. You were both brought on board. No.
he's always been a bit mardy and moody, anyway. So
Yeah. So Luke's was a kind of a lieutenant within the family, whereas Cletus was never part of the family. He just did his own thing. So even though you are probably one of Reptile's bastards, he's never acknowledged you. And he may not be. You may not be one of his bastards, but you wouldn't really know. But you kind of people assume that you are because you look a lot like the rest of his bastards. So you had nothing to do with Luke before you got on board the ship. You didn't really have anything to do with any of the family.
an order for to ask me to kill that man. I think on it, Luke.
Yeah, you.
After all, Reptiles never said I was his son.
Yeah, you think about it. Remember, we were. Sorry, hang on a sec.
That's canny.
Look at those fancy little napkins. Now, yeah, you.
That was bio folk after.
Give me a minute. I'll get there. I'll get there right in a minute. I can do bio.
I'm just trying to get there myself. I'll listen to you, eh, boy?
But give me a minute. I'll get all right right now.
When I look here, I feel a little left out of all this.
You in this conversation.
Crazy fool.
You gotta remember whose side you on. I mean, that Arnold, he ain't one of us. He's just told us that he's taken the head of our father and he sleeps within his bed. He's a monster. Monsters need to be put down.
Yeah, maybe, but he's my daddy. Well, people say I look the same, but don't seem to have the same temper tantrums as you do, Luke.
Yeah, that ain't no temper tantrum. What do you want about Cletus? Don't you understand? They destroyed everything. Didn't you see? You weren't there. They brought ruination onto the bio. They destroyed it. They brought bombs
I was working down mine.
and they wrecked everything. They killed thousands and thousands of
You've been
people,
working
women,
as a
children.
slave. You work as a slave. The mines.
Oh,
The year before.
I ain't worked.
Did your daddy look after you? Daddy never looked after me.
Wow.
Had it all on a silver spoon, and now you got it rough like me. I ain't crying in your cell.
And Luke starts looking and goes, "Maybe I don't know you. Maybe I don't know you. I ain't have no silver spoon. I work for everything I got. And Reptile, he don't feed anyone with no silver spoon. You got me all wrong. You don't know me." And he bristles at what you just said to him, because it's so very different to how you've been with him before. And he bristles and he takes a step back and he looks at you differently.
I don't know. I've just been thrown around by this big fucking man. To be honest, in a strange environment, I don't want to cause no trouble just yet. Let's think about this, Luke, and think about this sensibly.
Yeah, you think about it. Just remember who you are, where you came from. Okay, I'd like to just move on. Just trying to keep a little bit of.
That'll do for me.
Oh, yeah. So Courtney is up next, and Nixios, you're pretty close. The door's still open. You two have seen what's going on with Tommy and Jan. Are either of you two doing anything, or do you want to kind of pass? Or...
What about the conversation between Luke and?
Okay, so you might be within with hearing. I'd like to make a awareness test. They've got quite a hard accent to understand, but they're also getting quite agitated, talking loudly. So I'd like you to add a +10. Make an awareness test with a +10 to see if you can filter out the noise from Tommy Lee and you can hear what them two are talking about down the end of the holding pen. Your awareness is amazing, but yes, Nixius, you're very smart, very good at perceiving, and you can hold the two conversations in your mind, what Tommy Lee and Jan are talking about, and you can also hear, the words that they're talking to Elizabeth, and you hear that Luke is asking Cletus to kill Arnold, and you can't blame him in a sense because Arnold's just said that. He's got Reptile's head. He sleeps in his bed. He just banged Luke's head off of the bars. He just assaulted him. You've seen all that, and there's no, you understand Luke's incredibly angry. All the good work you've done prior to this, kind of getting him on board. Arnold's kind of undone all that. See, Tommy Lee kind of brought him on side because he basically fluked a real difficult test. He kind of brought him on side because Tommy Lee knows things, and Luke trusted that.
I know things.
Arnold's undone a lot of that by basically antagonising and goading, and Luke is furious with that. He wants to kill Arnold, and he's trying to get Cletus on board to do it with him. Do you hear all that, Nixius?
Mm-hmm. I'm going to blow Luke's collar.
Okay.
Fair enough.
I would like you. It's a very easy tech use test. You draw the data pad. I'd like you to make a tech use test at +30. It's not something you'll fail, but it's can you do it in a quick fashion?
You show him who's boss, Miss Nixius.
Fucking boring conversation.
Oh, it's that big.
Oh, it blows all the colours.
Well,
Oh yeah. Whoop.
Up.
Beeping.
Beeping goes off, and then there's a huge detonation. And Cletus, you see right in front of your eyes, Luke's head detonates. The whole collar blows off, and he's just stood there. There's just gibs and gibbets of brain and a fine red mist, and there's a bit of a red mist comes out as well. And you just see him. He just stands there for a moment, but there's no head, and then he topples slowly to the floor. Luke is quite dead.
Be quite disturbing. What do you think?
well, is that our problem?
Oh no, Luke seems to have displayed actual killing intent towards one of the Imperial, the Emperor's own. The collar must have detected that and exploded accordingly. Let this be a lesson to all of you wearing a collar.
I love him.
Into your thoughts towards fellow Imperial colleagues.
I think I might readdress my actions earlier. I'm out of this. Can I return to myself, please?
You did really well, Cletus, when coming away from that conversation. You must have done it in the nick of time.
Oh no. Oh,
I love how we've gone from a discussion about how this campaign could end with us killing each other to Hayden in an argument with his own character where he plots to kill his own character to James killing an NPC and threatening one of Hayden's characters.
Thanks, I love it. Thanks, James. Well played.
Let us not have this game end in a bloodbath.
Clean up on aisle 3.
Okay, so after
what happened to it, fetching servitor.
make a tech use test at +30, Johnny, to summon a servitor for cleanup. After that, Arnold, you're outside. You see Arnold striding up down the corridor. There are 4 inquisitorial guards. These are the guards that are here. Actually, you haven't seen the guards before because you weren't here.
Yeah,
before.
the top cleanup service is coming down.
Okay.
Right now.
You hear a confirmation. Compliance. And a cleanup servitor is en route. 4 inquisitorial guards, Arnold, come and take station outside the door, and one of them nods to you. Arnold, it's your turn now, Arnold. We're just going round in, just trying to rough initiative order.
Oh, yeah.
Arnold, not Cletus.
1 minute. I say, you've got your hands full here, haven't you? That's like Scottish.
Somewhere in the mix of all the accents you do, that one came out.
Aye.
The guard says, evening, sir. We've been ordered here. You heard about the murder.
What's the nurse got stuffed into a vent.
Yeah, she was stabbed multiple times. Terrible. She's a lovely lady as
Why
well.
the hell did they stuff into a vent?
I mean, someone's trying to send a message. That's what it is. Yeah, we've got Lucius doubling all the guards and all the critical locations.
At least you do a good job, lads.
I'll teach him to strike.
Did you have to fish her out of it? I had to look after one of the nurses last night. I let her sleep safe in my room.
All right. Nudge, wink, wink, say no more.
Like that. Okay, maybe what I wish it could have been, but wink, wink, say no more, hey? He'll stay there talking to the guard for a minute, move on.
Okay, so after Arnold, we're back. Well, let's go back to Tommy Lee and Jan. Is Jan still... Are you with us, Brownie?
He's disappeared, voice in my head.
He's disappeared.
I'm gone to pop another collar.
I'm just going to amend some... Where are we here? So...
Here he is.
Handouts. So we're back with Tommy Lee and Jan. Brownie, if you're back with us, mate.
Oh, Jan's got some marigolds on to clean up. That's amazing.
Stripping models.
Again, character.
Once you pop, you can't stop, James. Go on, keep going.
So, right.
Pringle purge these fuckers.
What? What?
So once you pop, you can't stop. Pringle purge these fuckers. You know, just go and
17. Double
Okay,
up. Or follows and then gas the ring just to make sure.
Tommy Lee and Jan, we're back with you two guys. If you've and I kind of cut you out. Sorry, I interrupted your flow a bit, but I'm just it's a bit of an awkward. It's still a bit of a hot.
No, it's all right.
I'm trying to keep everyone, in and some of you guys obviously we've been chatting about the game for ages, and so I wanted to give these guys a chance to jump into a bit of role play as well if they wanted to. So back to Tommy Lee and Jan. If you've got anything more to say to each other or anything to do, please feel free.
I'm just tugging at Jan's sleeve and looking at him with imploring eyes. You could probably see my wooden teeth, begging to let me see the Book of Lies.
Well, to see the Book of Lies, I need to speak to Mr. Prickles.
Okay. I'm gonna reach into my backpack with one hand. I've got to holster my pistol. Reach into my bag of cheese with the other hand. And I'm going to come out with Mr. Prickles on one hand and a bit of cheese in the other, and I'm going to simulate feeding this puppet some cheese. Here you go, Mr. Prickles. You must have been real hungry. You've been stuck in there a long time, haven't you? And then he nods to me. He's just going to stand there smiling at Jan with Mr. Prickles on his hand.
For the record, Tommy Lee doesn't have a explosive collar on.
Oh,
That's not to say that Jan can't kill him, because he can.
I mean, it would be very easy. Yeah.
I mean, lots of people can kill Tommy Lee, but not with by just detonating his collar, because he's not a slave. Tommy Lee.
Mr. P don't
man.
have no collar neither.
not yet.
Mr. P, I'd like you to meet my friend Yarn. Yarn, this is Mr. P.
What does Mr. P see in the book, Tommy?
Uh-huh. 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 He says, mind your own business.
Oh my god. Killings.
That's not how you get to see the book, Mr. P.
Oh, come on, Mr. P. You're going to have to give him something. 'Cause if and you don't, he's going to get angry at me, and he's going to throw me out the cold door, and then, well, you're fucked as well. So, come on, you're going to have to give him a little something. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I'm not going to tell him that. He'll kill me. Uh-huh. Oh, okay. Sorry, I misheard. I thought you said something about his sister. My apologies, Jan. Sometimes the words Mr. P say, they don't come out quite right. Mr. P says he just needs some knowledge that's in the book. That's all. He just wants to take a little look-see, and then that's it. You can have the book back. I'm going to send you a message on Roll20, Alan.
Okay. I shall send you a message back, and I'll try not to fuck it up.
What do I?
Kind of. I think I hinted at it in an out character message. I'll maybe give you.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's what I mean. I mean, when I say I mean Tommy.
Hmm?
Where's... Oh, I do know, yeah, actually. I'll wait until you send me a message, though. It actually mentions it in my quests.
all right. Yeah.
Yeah, so, I'm gonna say to Jan, look, you seem like a real nice fella, so me and Mr. P were going to level with you. Mr. P wants to see the book because he ain't been feeling himself, and if he can read the book, he's going to be able to feel more like himself, and he can help me more. He can help us more. He knows things, a great many things, but if he's at full power, he can know anything.
It's an extremely strange request, Tommy.
I don't see what's so strange about giving a book to a hedgehog puppet. I think you got some prejudices, Jan, that you maybe need to keep in check. I never took you for a hoggist. Maybe we can change your mindset.
Hedgehog.
I'm a
I'm going
hobby.
to look at next. I'm going to be like, we are hearing the same thing, aren't we? We both hearing the same conversation. And Nick's going to look back and go, yeah, it's fucking weird. Straight fucking weird. And Jan's going to go, yeah, we thought so. We think about it, Tommy. Me need to go see the book myself. and
That's fair. That's fair. I know.
the nature of what I'm going to be letting your puppet friend look at.
I mean, it's not like it's a weapon or a font of immeasurable power and destruction or nothing like that. It's just a book. What harm can possibly? Oh, it's not like it's a weapon.
Knowledge is a weapon in the right hands.
It's also a tool. And only a tool that is misused in an inappropriate manner becomes a weapon. A tool in the right hands, well, it can be most useful, Mr. Yarn.
All my training tells me not to put knowledge and power in the hands of a puppet.
Did they teach you that in Saka school? Lesson 4. Never give a book to a glove puppet. No, I don't really say that.
You should.
Is that how it goes? I mean, I never had no formal education. I had never been in no school. Everything I learned from the school of hard knocks and from Mr. P.
Everything I know about that book tells me that the knowledge inside it is extremely dangerous and only for the mind of someone who can take that knowledge.
Well, you say Mr. P can take it? I mean, he's real smart. He knows all sorts of things. He knew you were coming for me, and you might say it's dangerous, but this sky vessel of yours, this big shiny tin box, I mean, I seen it from the outside. It's got some big guns. They're dangerous too, in the wrong hands. You know where I'm coming from? And what about you? I bet you can do some real fancy shit with your mind. I know what your kind of people are like, and I know they can be dangerous too.
That's the truth, Tommy.
Exactly. But you don't strike me as no danger to me right now. You strike me as a good man, Jan, because your tools, your weapons are in the right hands. So all I'm asking is a little faith in me and my good friend, Mr. P. You let us see the book, and then, well, maybe we become more powerful and more useful as a tool in the arsenal of this skyship and all who dwell upon her.
What the fuck is that servo skull doing now?
It's just floated into the room. You see, it's got these little manipulators in its hand, like little hands almost, and it's holding a series of rusty nails. And it's floating towards Alexa.
Too late.
Alexa, the servo skull, as you commanded, has brought you the butcher's nails. Not the butcher's nails.
We won't be needing them anymore, will we?
As you look upon the bastard's nails, you think it's a unique item. It's special. No wonder Luke wanted it. There must have been a good reason that you prized these nails out of his head. There was a good reason. You've got an eye for these things, Alexa. And then you must have forgotten about it. Maybe you just weren't running at full efficiency, but you forgot about it for.
Can I do a memory check?
For a few weeks? Yeah, sure.
Can I run a diagnostic?
You can run a defrag, Alexa. Make an intelligence test.
Yeah.
Al, do I notice the servo skull come in?
Tommy Lee, make a. I don't know. I mean, I would normally say yes, but I'm going to ask you to make an awareness test because
I am a bit distracted.
Because you are a bit distracted, and you're also you're missing a sandwich or two from your picnic. Tommy Lee, you don't know it's a servo skull. You're focused on Mr. Prickles and Yarn, and the servo skull floats past you unawares.
Fair enough.
So, did you make an intelligence test, Alexa?
Yeah,
you did, and you passed. Are you also? Oh yeah. Okay. So, Alexa, you run a quick system diagnostic, and you recall the orbital assault, and you recall this bastard who stood as the last defender of the painting. And you know, he was a broken man at that time. He'd already crushed his army. You'd slain the fatty. You know, you'd faced all the dogs and the hardship, the militia, the mutant fanatics. You'd faced them all down, and Luke was the last one standing, and he was stood there with these nails, and it looked like they'd just been hammered into his skull, but he was still alive. And more than that, you were sure that they were giving him power in some way, and you recognise that these nails, they were something more than just standard nails, and that must have been why you took them. And you think that with proper evaluation and examination, they may yield up. They may be useful in some way. So I'm going to tell you out of character and in a bit of a metagaming fashion is that these nails are another example of a magic item, let's say, and you might want to put them into one of your equipment slots, and they might have a special effect. But if you want to learn what them do, you need to spend some time examining them. Now, some of your characters are good at identifying magic items, if we call them that. They're the mystical characters like Yarn, Courtney, Tommy Lee. They're the ones who are better at determining this sort of thing, because it's a bit more mystical, these items, rather than
I'll Electra will retrieve these like the servitor will just put them into her hand, and then you're gonna look into the cell where there's basically like brains splattered everywhere, and go, well, he won't be needing those anymore. And then I'm gonna take him to. I wonder why he wanted them so bad. And I'm just going to take him over to Yarn and see if Yarn can do a test for me.
Okay, so I've just gone onto another screen. I've had this screen up for ages. When you looted some items from the orbital assault, they put them in the group loot and kind of never come back to them. But there's a few items you took from the orbital assault that are better than normal. There was Fatty's chainsaw, there was the bastard sword, and then the bastard's nails. And each of these items, you know, is better than your standard, your standard gear.
Yeah.
So you're going to head up to Yarn. And what about Cletus? You've got, if you want to jump in, Cletus. Is there anything you want to do at this time? I'm going to move Alexa outside.
It's off to bed.
Okay, Cletus, you go back to bed. You get your head down.
Full time of it.
And Cletus, there is a fine sheen of Luke's blood over you.
Go to sleep. Okay. Oh well, if it's a fine sheen of blood over me, I'm going to go to the shower room. Actually.
Okay, so you're going to go and clean Luke.
If someone will let me through the door.
Oh, the door's open. Nix has been keeping it open. I mean, you'll have to walk past him, so but I don't think he'd mind. But yeah, we'll wait till he comes back for you to ask that.
I'll have a shower and then go back to his room and get some shut-eye, because it's been a stressful time for him.
Okay. So I'll take you out of the order for now, to try and keep a bit of tact. Thanks for that, Hayden. So Courtney, are you doing anything while this is going on, or do you want to?
You should be like, oh, let's have a look at those. To Alexa.
Yeah. Let's. This is what NPCs are for, Johnny. They're for using for your own purposes.
Yeah.
So this is how they work. This is how I use Veneta anyway.
Okay.
I just get her to craft canny items. So Courtney, you go up to Alexa. You immediately get interest. You don't metagame at all. You see the nails, they catch your interest. And let me have a look at those. And what does Alexa say? Fuck off!
Just gonna hold out a hand. Just gonna hold out a hand. I took them from the mutant skull. He won't be needing them anymore. What are they? Besides the obvious.
Okay. So, Courtney, you sit yourself down at the table and start to examine these nails. This is going to take a bit of time. Okay, so let's have a look then. So, Nixius, have you got anything you'd like to do, or?
No, Nixius just keep in order.
Okay, keep in order. What about Arnold? You're still outside?
Arnold will pop back into the room.
Okay, you pop
And,
in.
just stand round, listen.
Okay, you see Tommy Lee and Jan have been having a very urgent conversation. You see Alexa's out here as well. Nixis is stood by the door. Courtney's sat at the chair with some nails in front of her.
Can I see the glove puppet on Tommy Lee's hand?
Yes. It's a hedgehog.
No, only people I want to see him. Yeah, you can.
Arnold's going to point at Tommy Lee and go, "Oh, what the hell is that?"
This is what we know back on the Orpheus 4 is a meta hedgehog. No, it's a hedgehog. It's like, it's a puppet. Look, hi there, big friend. And I'm going to come over to Arnold, and using Mr. Prickles on my hand, I'm going to squeeze Arnold's bicep and go, "My, what huge muscles you have, sir!"
Are you sure you want to do that? Race Arnie with a puppet.
Just squeezing your bicep.
Yeah, he doesn't like that sort of thing.
Oh, back away. Bad, Mr. P.
Before he pulls the puppet's head off, I just warn you.
Bad, Mr. P.
He doesn't like anybody touching him.
Tommy doesn't know that. Mr. P doesn't know that. So I did it.
Annie glares at you and just gives you a bit of a stony look and says, "You get that mangy thing off me." Rip his head off. And,
okay.
Gives you a polite warning for Arnold. It's as polite as he gets.
I'm just going to back away slowly and put Mr. P back in the bag, then offer the cheese to Arnold. Cheese?
All right, I forgive you. It takes a bit of cheese. Right,
Good.
The old bribery friendship cheese.
Good, very sharp. I'm just moving Luke character sheet into. I've got a folder. It's called The Lost. There.
A nice escape, Dave. Nice escape.
I put all the characters who are lost into this one folder, and now I've put Luke in there.
And he's not impressed by this room of freaks and mutants. Say that. But even though I'm really loving playing with my other character, but I've got to keep Arnie true what he is. He's a dick. No, Dick Pincher. Pincher would have shagged your hedgehog hand. Used it as a stranger.
That's a little dog.
Anyway,
Stranger Things.
Yeah, Stranger Things. Sit on your hand for half an hour, then do it.
Courtney, would you make for me, please, a Psyniscience test?
Yes, I would like to do that. She's not very good.
No, but you. Oh, and I also like to add plus 10 for Forbidden Law Warp. So, Courtney, this is going to take you some time to uncover. It's not a quick task. You haven't failed as yet, but it's not going to be something you can uncover easily. So, Courtney, you're going to have to persevere with this some time.
Yeah. She's just looking at it and going, getting a feel for it. Singing them together. Ding. And holding them to her ears, I think. Interesting. And basically pretending she knows what she's doing, whilst wielding random powers. That's what she's going to do. Okay?
Okay.
That's her plan.
Our servitor during all this walked in as well and start cleaning up the blood in Luke's cell.
Excellent. Very good. I'm going to. I know it's just slightly off. Once Alexis passes his nails over, she's going to just take out a data slate and start sketching armor designs based on the measurements she took last session.
Okay.
Or Cleated.
Okay, so we're kind of at a stage now where we can go kind of back into power play mode. We're at the end of sort of day 9. We can carry on role playing if that's what you want to do, or we can start going back into sort of power play mode where you can start, carry on doing stuff like crafting, which is designing armor, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Hayden, are we losing you, buddy, or are you still with us?
Almost, but I'm still here.
No worries, mate. I mean, it's fine. You've done well. It's like we can probably, if we're going back into power play, we can carry on without you anyway, can't we? So, unless anyone wants to say to each other, I don't want to interrupt you if you're carrying on role playing, but if we want to move along a bit, we can do that as well.
I would, if I'm allowed to have a moment.
Of course you are. Of course you are.
I'd
All you have to do is speak up, mate. Of course you are.
I'd like to apologise to Nixius. I'm sorry, Nixius, about my behaviour, earlier. It seems you're doing a fine job here. Would you mind if I went to apologise to the mutant I assaulted earlier?
You can help clean him out of his cell if you want. He's a stain. He's not so much a mutant anymore.
What do you mean?
I mean, I'm not having dissent.
Oh, we're losing your brain.
Amongst my crew, he could be retrieved anyway, and I think he bore too many grudges against the drop.
All right, I will go and help the cleanup duty. He goes to go and help the servitor.
Really, the servitor's dealing with that. Don't worry about it.
You sure? I've been right. So I understand you're doing a great job around the ship. So respect your judgment from now on, and not antagonise anybody else.
But much appreciated. This is a weird enough job without my colleagues getting in the way.
It's just hard when you're an emperor-serving man to see things aboard a ship which should not have it. As you understand, Mr. Nixius, it's a Roth.
Yeah, this is a bloody weird shit, and some bloody weird shit going on.
The one what's jumped on me seemed alright, though. At least he put up a fight.
The who what?
The one what jumped on me seemed alright. At least he put up a fight. One with 4 arms. It doesn't matter. The one was sleeping in his cell.
Well, I'm hoping that the rest of them have got some kind of combat potential, for sure.
I'm sure you'll make sure that the order is set now with your example of power. Order is maintained. Anyway, good work. Good luck, Mr. Roth. If you need my help, just ask.
Yeah, thanks, Arnold.
Just help leash him if you want to.
Bing bong. The doorbell goes.
Fucking hell, more. Anyone expecting the visitor?
I'll get it for you.
It's like a goddamn episode of Friends up in here.
Arnold goes to the door. He opens it if he can.
Yeah, well, you can open the outside door. You see in front of you the familiar face. He doesn't like you very much. It's Dr. Festus Bucket. You remember him, don't you? He's such a nice guy. He's healed you before, healed your arm. He put you into the cryo coffins. And he's now here, and he's carrying a very intricate and heavy-looking device, which looks like a weapon, looks like some sort of cannon. And he's holding it. It's probably a bit too heavy for him. And, the Inquisitorial guards don't seem to be stopping him, even though he looks armed. And he stood at the door and goes,
Hello, Mr. Bucket.
Hello, it's Mr. Arnold.
Would you like me to help you with that heavy-looking item you've got there?
Oh, no, this is quite a delicate piece of apparatus. I wouldn't want you to break it.
I'll handle it for you.
Oh, no, I really must. Please, may I come in? Where's Mr. Roth? Is he the strike leader? Well, is he there?
He's just round the back here. I'll escort you to him.
Okay. So,
Mr. Roth, We have Mr. Bucket here.
The Dr. Bucket.
Yes, Mr. Bucket is here.
Hello, Mr. Roth. I'm here to take another sample of the big one. I made a special tool to take the sample.
Bloody hell. Are you sure that's not going to permanently damage it? I know he's a big man, but, you know.
I'm reasonably confident.
And it's just shake his head and go, do what you got to do, Doctor.
Oh, thank you very much. You are too kind. It's all in the name of science. Just think what good we can do if we can understand the mutants, understand the corrupting influence of the miasma. We might be able to defeat it.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get our money's worth.
And then he walks in. It's all Dave's fault, by the way, this whole arc.
Mm-hmm.
He walks up to the cell, and then he shouts back and goes, "Would you be so kind as to let me in, Mr. Roth? I don't appear to have the key to this cell.
Yeah,
Why would I? Why would I? I'm just a doctor. No, not a jailer."
Yeah, I will. And I'll let 33 know that the doctor's come to see him again.
Okay, so you head up to the door. 33 sees the doctor head up, and he sees you as well, and goes, "All right, Doctor, you here to have another go, are you?" And 33 steps back, and are you going to open the door for Festus?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Festus heads in. Are you going to lock the door with him inside, or are you going to leave the door unlocked?
I'll leave the door unlocked.
Dr. Festus says to 33, says, "If you would be so kind, would you just turn around?" And 33 looks quite... he doesn't look quite very happy with this scenario. But he does. He's already agreed to give up the sample. And Dr. Festus Bucket, he pulls it seems like some sort of... It looks like a cannon. And he puts it up against the small of 33's back, and he pulls the trigger, and there's a dreadful bang as his sampling device goes off, and he extracts, or does he though? Let's have a little test, shall we? Good old Festus Bucket. Good old Festus Bucket. And he extracts the sample of spinal fluid using his device, and it pierces through the many layers of blubber and gets through to the spinal cord. And he takes that sample, and 33 grunts in pain, but he doesn't appear to be paralysed. He doesn't appear to be broken by the process. And Dr. Festus says, "Oh well, that's very good. How do you feel?" 33 goes, "Fuck!" But Festus immediately can see that 33 is not fallen to the ground paralysed. So he smiles. He turns his back on 33, and then he walks away. He walks away. And he says to him, he says, "Well, thank you very much. So that's another one of the mutants. That's 3 out of 4. So, have you had any luck with the 4th mutant? Can I get a sample from him, do you think?"
Well, that depends what you can scrape off the floor, Doctor.
What I don't quite understand.
I'm afraid I couldn't get compliance from the fourth one. Oh no, is that the... Hang on, who have we got?
The only one who hasn't given him a sample thus far is Luke.
Yep.
He basically said he would give up a sample if you got him his nails.
Oh well, never mind.
So what are you saying to
There's a headless body on the floor, Doctor. Take what you will.
Ah, yes, well, that will make it probably quite easy to get the spinal fluid. Thank you very much. And off he goes. Oh, would you let me into this room? I don't appear to have the key. Why would I?
Of course I will.
Do you follow him over?
I think he's got the keys. He's protesting too much about not having keys. I'm not there. I'll shut up.
You shut up. So, Dr. Festus Bucket, he tries to take a sample from the body on the floor, and he seems quite happy with that process. He goes back up to you, Nick Joss. He says, "Well, that's definitely one way to do it. Mission accomplished. Thank you very much. I can't wait to get back to the lab and analyze these samples."
I'm glad I could be of help, Doctor.
Oh, you've been very helpful. I can't wait to see whether I can produce something very special with this mutant DNA. Turning more and more to the geneticist out of South Park, isn't he?
I think he's ace. I think Dr. Festus Bucket is ace.
Is he going to create? Is he going to create?
Doctor. Is
he going to create an army of mutants with fucking 5 asses or something?
Mutant servitors.
Okay, so Festus he heads off. Arnold, are you going to let him out? You're stood in the door hole. Are you still with us, Arnold? Or we lost you? No,
We've lost Arnold.
Okay, so that's fine. He did well. He had one last burst. So Festus heads off. So guys, like I say, we can go back into power play, or if there's anything you want to say or do to kind of role play with each other, you're welcome to do that, or we can go back into.
I'm good.
To go on to day 10.
I'm good to plow on.
I need to wrap it up soon anyway because I won't mind doing maybe a turn of power play just to sort of get that axe finished if I can.
Yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
We can. So I don't mind early finish anyway because I've got kind of very nice. But like the kind of the advantage in power play is we can
get things done.
do things individually. You know what I mean? It's like it doesn't mean you can get off and I can kind of do stuff with the other guys. And it's,
man, that sounds cool.
Okay, so we'll go on to we'll end day 9 then, if you're all happy with that.
Yep.
And we'll go on to day 10. So we'll start with you then, Johnny, seeing as you would like to get away early. So would you like to go with Alexa first? What was Alexa like to do on day 10? Would you like to finish the act, Johnny? Not that I'm reading.
Yeah, if you would like to try and finish the act so she can start the project.
Okay.
I'd like to attempt to finish the act.
Okay.
I'll just roll a D3 for re-rolls.
Uh-huh.
Right.
Free. But you'll only be able to use. You can't re-roll a re-roll. I'll just tell you that. So the Great Chain Axe, Alexa. You've worked so long on this, and you focused for so long on a single task, and you really have been assisting, and it's been going really, really well. You're good at this. This may well be the finest item that you have ever crafted, and it's nearly done. All that remains is for you to attach together the axe head, the handle, the motor, link the chain links, and it's just the final assembly. It's putting everything together, and then you shall create the Great Chain Axe. So you're going to work upon this,
yes.
And then you're going to get the final crafting roll. So this will have a number of modifiers on, and the modifiers are down to how well you've been advancing it over the course of the project, and you've been doing that very well. So because of all the degrees of success that you've got so far, it's adding a total of plus 27 to this roll.
Okay.
You did actually use some inferior orc metal in this project, so that brings off a small minus. Plus, you put some of the orc chopper, the orc chain axe back into it, and you would have been better off starting with just some virgin metal from somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like this is the way crafting works. Is if you can find good ingredients, it will lead to a better final item. If you start with like shoddy ingredients,
Yeah. I mean, it can always be replaced at a later date if it proves.
the debuff from the inferior metal is quite heavily outweighed by the other modifiers.
Yeah.
You've also got a modifier for the workshop itself.
Okay.
So it's plus 27 from your degree of success. It's minus 5 for the metal, and it's plus 10 for the technical workshop. It's a total of plus 32 on this crafting roll. This is the final roll you'll make.
Okay.
And the degrees of success that you roll will influence how good the item is. So what you really... He's gone straight ahead. What I was about to say is what you really mustn't do is roll 100. 9 degrees. That's very good.
Very good.
Very good indeed. Now let me consult. Give me a second. I'm just going to open something up. I like he just went straight in. He didn't even let me try and jinx you. He
Fuck you and your witchcraft, Alan.
I just said,
Yeah, I'm
"Shame
getting
you rolled
wise
100,
to
John."
it now.
You didn't even let me say it. You know me too well. So let me try and find. Correct.
Yeah, so let this be a lesson, Johnny. Never let Alan finish saying anything and always try and talk over him.
But he kind of does that anyway. So don't worry about that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been painting a flamethrower vehicle and crew. I'm
Nice.
going to use it to burn my enemies. Cheers, man. Such a fun to use. So fun to use as well. Flamethrowers are horrific and bolt action really nasty.
Okay, so you finished the axe. Hang on a sec.
One of my flamer dudes as well.
Let's have again. Hey, where's the flame from? Is that part and parcel of the model?
Yeah, it's on the model. Like,
Oh, nice, Johnny.
cool, isn't it? Duty looking.
Flame.
Yeah, I love flamethrowers. It's part of like an engineer unit, so you can actually squeeze another flamethrower into your board by putting it in a pioneer unit. So I do that, which is cool. Eventually, I will start working on the British. I've got quite a few assembles because I do want to try and show you guys.
Did you finish that commission for someone that wanted you to paint some for him?
The what? Sorry.
Did you finish that commission?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. Yeah, he was very happy with it, so which is good. So I've probably got some more work coming up from that. So, which is good. So, he's doing all like the scenery stuff, and which is good. He's done a cracking job with the scenery. Good.
Alexa.
Yeah.
Put you onto your character sheet.
Mhm.
You've created a purple item. Would you like to name it? It's currently named the Great Chain Axe, unless you want to name it something else. You could always give it a name.
The Gibbonator.
You could call it the Gibbonator. That's up to you. I don't know. I mean, it's as good a name as any, right? So, the Great Chain Axe...
I'm going to call it Final Darkness.
Final Darkness.
Phobos Mark II.
You've finished crafting, and you craft Final Darkness. Very happy with the progress. You are correct. It is the finest item you've ever crafted. Without a doubt. This is what you can achieve at full 98% efficiency, Alexa. The Great Chain Axe does 2d10 at plus 5 damage. It has a pen of 3, and it imparts plus 15 weapon skill to the one who's using it. It has 2 special abilities. One of those is tearing. Tearing means it rolls an extra dice and it'll pick the 2 highest. And it also has another special ability, which is it's like super dense. It is immune to being broken by power weapons. So I can't remember. I might have given that another name on something else. But anyway, it's So most weapons can just be chopped in half by a power field, but some weapons are so well crafted that they're immune to that. Also, So that because you got so many degrees of success, you didn't get the best result here. You could have made if you got a natural 1. You could have made something even better. So you've crafted Final Darkness. It's undoubtedly not undoubtedly. I was about to say it's the strongest melee weapon in the game, but it might not be. I think Kazashini might be
Accurate.
It's a similar power level, just different type of power.
Accurate does a lot to a melee weapon as well, doesn't it?
It does, and this does not have accurate.
Yeah.
So it's also very heavy.
I didn't realise you could get accurate on the melee weapon.
No, you can't. It's a homebrewed item, James,
Okay.
for Kazashini, and it is broken. So there's a good reason why you can't do that. But it's also quite fun, because Dave's so uncomfortable when you make him overpowered in close combat. He just hates. He's like, I want to be weaker.
So I ditched my character.
Yeah, indeed you did, and you made a man with a
Hedgehog glove puppet.
It was
It had a bag of cheese.
with the right decision.
It was a good choice. Yeah.
I can't wait for Mr. Prickles to pull out a pistol or something like that. You know what I mean? And start blazing away with it. I think that's gonna be fucking amazing.
Don't hold your breath for that one, Johnny.
I'm expecting it to go full in Red Dwarf and laser beams come out of his eyes.
Yeah, probably most likely. Yeah.
Mr.
Courtney.
Nibble is very.
Courtney, would you like to spend your day at 10 power play investigating these these nails? Not that I'm leading you, Johnny.
Yeah, I
like
would.
to do that? Would you? Okay.
Yeah,
you,
I'd like to do that.
Okay, so I'd like you to make another sign this scene, Robin. Courtney only gets 4 hours a day because she's to work. She's lazy. She gets easily distracted. So I'd like you to make a sign this scene wrong.
That instance is terrible.
Okay.
Huh. Not too bad.
Just one moment. I need to find another handout. Courtney, so you have uncovered the power of the bastard's nails. It's a charm, so it goes into the charm slot. It's a purple item. It gives +1 willpower, and it can add +20 to one test once per session that cannot be combined with a reroll. And when you use that ability, there's a chance to gain corruption. 1 in 10 chance. So you've got another magic item that, I don't know, take this or what Courtney's going to do with it. Maybe that's kind of up to you. That's a problem for the next session. But you've got another.
Make it into a crown.
Make it into a crown of nails. Very good. I like it. So I'm just going to copy these. Let's copy this item. So I'm just going to go now onto Courtney's character sheet. And I'm going to put the nails here until you find somewhere else for them to be.
The bastard's nails.
So Courtney also had 3.
Call them the bastard's nails. Actually, that's quite cool. I like that.
Okay, so let's do what you're doing there. Just undo that. Undo it. Okay, so. So Courtney's got iron. So that's both your characters done on day 10.
Cool.
If you wanted to,
I'll leave it there. Yeah, I think I'm pretty pleased. I'm pretty pleased with that. That's a good result. I'm glad I'm just looking forward to seeing that chain axe in action now, as well. So
I was
Yeah.
really hoping you'd just roll a 100 and make a grey item that it was worse than normal axe, something like that. But no.
Me.
I would definitely re-roll that if I was going to do that. But I think 9
Oh,
degrees.
What I was hoping actually is that you'd have rolled something and it was perfectly fine, and then you thought, no, I'll re-roll that and then roll the 100. That's what I thought you'd do.
Yeah, no. I think
No,
9 degrees.
you didn't let me get my witchcraft off, and you just
Nope. I went for it.
You went for it.
I had to.
Well.
Dave witchcrafted me yesterday, so I'm not going to allow it again. Never again.
Never again.
Never.
So what about Dave and James?
I probably will.
Do you want to carry on for a little bit, guys, or do you want to leave it there as well?
Well, I think it's time for Jan to go and get the book.
Okay. Okay. So day 10, you want to go and retrieve the book. The book is in containment. It's encased in lead. You locked it away safely.
I'm going to go, guys. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, see you soon, Johnny.
Easy.
Been a pleasure, mate. See you later,
Take
buddy.
care. Love you guys. Bye. 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 Bye.
So yeah, Jan, you can get the book on day 10, but it's been encased in lead. It's not an easy process to remove it.
Yeah.
The guards, the inquisitorial guards who are on the door, they see you and you have authority to come in here. But they asked you to say, "Is everything all right, sir? All the guards talk like this. What is it? What's I mean, there's been no disturbances here. I mean, everything's under control. Everything's contained. What are you after?"
I need to look at the book.
All right, but it's locked in lead, just as your orders, sir. It's safely tucked away.
Yes,
You want us to get it out again?
yes, that is correct.
All right, I'll send for some engineers. Maybe they can remelt the lead and bring it out. You sure?
Yes, I believe
Sure you want to do
we
this?
proceed with the book now.
Okay. So in you stroll, there's a wait, and and before too long, there's a little pack of engineers appear in containment, and they follow your orders, and they brought some devices. Let's have a look. So I'll just move Jagannatha out of this. So let's have a look.
Just a slightly warm oven would do the job.
Just gonna lightly bake it. I'm sure it would take. It still take a while to use your oven on 220 degrees, fan assisted, to heat up a. I don't know. It must be a 20-ton block of lead. It's going to take some time, though, isn't it? I know it's got a low melting point, Dave. I know. Okay, Jan.
Yes, 327.5 degrees to be precise.
Is that right?
Yeah. I'm a metallurgist, Alan. I know these things. I didn't Google it.
I'm sure you did. So, Jan, you're here. The engineers get to work and they start to warm up the lead. And it takes a good while. I don't know exactly what the boiling point lead is, but I'm going to take Dave on his...
It's 327.5 degrees. I'm telling you, I'm a metallurgist.
And I don't know how long it's going to take exactly to heat up a block of lead for 327 degrees. But let's say it takes
some hours.
A number of hours. And after a while, the lead is melted sufficiently that they can draw out the box that contains the book of lies, and out it comes. And they move it to one side, and they blast off the rest of the lead with some high pressure air, and then the box is there for you to open. Let it cool for a while because they don't want the book to inflame. And what are you doing? Are you opening up the box?
Well, I'm going to while it's melting, I'd like to contact Jagannatha and tell him that after discussion with Tommy, I think the only way to move forward is to what's the word? Examine the Book of Lies in more detail.
Give him the book.
And,
Give him the book.
and I'm going to ask him if he can assist me in protection wards and the like while it's free.
Okay, so I mean, so you did make a circle, which you put the circle around the containment cell, but you could do a similar thing on a smaller scale.
Yeah. I'm also wondering, like, if there are kind of some way to sanctify it and lock it while, like you see on models, like kind of the golded locks and the like, or the gilded locks.
Try and give it, I suppose, an extra level of security, so not anyone can open it.
Yeah.
You think that is? Let's have a test. I think. What should we? What can we do? Let's have a little look.
Forbidden lore. It's the kind of thing Tommy might know about. You should have maybe brought him with you.
Yeah. So yeah, let's have a I think forbidden lore occult seems quite sensible. If you'd like to make scholastic lore occult. If you want to make a test of that to contain it. So let's say first of all, you contact Jagannatha. What did you say to him exactly? You.
I want to. I'm checking the book.
Mm-hmm.
Checking it out.
Mm-hmm.
The library.
Mm-hmm.
And I want.
Don't rack up any unnecessary fines there.
I think the only way forward is to examine the book in more detail, and so I'm going to begin to work on it. And
where do you want to work on it exactly? Where are you going to do this? Are you going to
here? Jagannatha, I guess. If this is the most sanctified place on the ship, then maybe set up some. I basically need help setting up containment, so I've got a place to read it, really.
And Jagannatha says to you, you have changed your mind. This is good. Lucius said that you could be trusted. Lucius said that you would come around. The place where you are now, containment, that is the best place for this. It's away from the others. We shall set up more wards down there. Perhaps we can make a reading room of sorts. I will be there presently. And before too long, Jagannatha will join you, and we'll make a little reading room. Let's bring it over here on the over here on. Oops, Jesus, don't do that. Oh no, there we go. Right, I'm going to put the book on the east side of this room.
East side.
There's a little table here. And we're going to have the book there. And Jagannatha says, let us do as we did before. Let us put the runes around this chamber. We shall work on it together. You and I. Okay?
Yep.
Do you want to do the same thing? I think it was a literacy roll we did here. So make a roll. This will be the rest of the power play day, I think, is to contain it. Okay, so you and Jagannatha together, you make quick work of it, and you believe that that these wards that you put around the walls of this chamber will help to keep the corruption away from the rest of the ship. And that will be Yarn's day 10. Getting the book out and then containing it within this chamber. What about Quintius?
Hello.
Quintius is in deep cover, Quintius.
He is.
Just hold on a sec. I'll give you a little spiel. Quintius, you awaken again in one of the cramped barracks of the port gunnery loaders. Your days have been full of routine and hard work, and you think that you are getting stronger. All of this lugging of shells and promethium. There's something fulfilling about this work. A day's honest graft.
Doesn't suit me at all.
You do imagine that it would get boring before long, but there is something to it, and it's definitely making you stronger. The excitement of a chase, Quintius, the hunt for your quarry, being interesting. You have a mental list of those who you think may be mutineers, and those who may be sympathetic to the mutineers' cause, and at the top of the list is Growler, and those who seem close to him. How long have Spinebreaker's agents been here? How long have they been sowing discord? But what of your quarry? What of the mysterious man who arranged to meet with Yarn and tried to recruit him? You've seen him here on the port side, but only briefly, and you've not seen him since. But you have been playing it cautiously, not jeopardizing your cover. Has he gone to ground? Did he see Yarn as Yarn was delivering food, and did he suspect that Yarn was on his tail? Or are you being too cautious? But then again, you are practically defenceless down here. If the traitors did discover you, they could almost certainly engineer an accident for you. But the risk you are at here is nothing, surely, to the risk when you infiltrated that cult before you were recruited into the Inquisition proper. Then you were truly in danger. Then your skills were not as finely honed. Quintius, you are running out of time. It is day 10. You have only 4 days left before you reach Ridge Station, and there you will be needed. You have to go on board Ridge Station, and your capacity as an agent of the trade department. You feel as if you are close to cracking open this nest of traitors. Fail to uncover this nest. What damage could they do to the ship? What implications are there for the sabotage of the port macro cannons? Would this give Spinebreaker the edge he needs? What are you doing?
Well,
Day 10. How would you like to approach this?
I'm going to. I voxed Jan and Arnold, didn't I?
I believe so. You've told them something about you can't find the cheese, but you found a slice of ham or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of given them a bit of a hint of how it's been going.
And according to my notes on day 8, I asked them to engineer me moving into the starboard crew on day 10.
Well, you did discuss that, but you also I think that was before you actually.
And then I saw the guy, didn't I?
You've actually found your quarry, so whether you still want to do that, you're not so sure that's the right move. I mean, you know your quarry was here. At least he was here. I mean, yeah, you've seen him here.
Yeah.
Could he have engineered a move to another part of the ship? Would he have gone to the starboard side? Could he have gone somewhere completely different? It's difficult to say.
Yeah. And I don't know anything about that guy, do I?
No. You've only seen his face. You don't really know anything about him. You've been playing it, fairly cautiously. You're not asked about him. You've not really gone on his tail very much. You've just been kind of hoping that he would come back into, your peripheral. For the most part, you've been playing it quite cautiously in that regard, and he hasn't come back, and that's because you kind of failed all your tests.
Yeah.
So you've been quite unfortunate in that regard.
I'm going to. I'm just trying to remember what I had a plan. and I've made some rough notes, but they don't make much sense now. I was going to. I think I tried flirting with Growler, didn't I, at one point, and that didn't work.
Yeah. You didn't. You don't think he's interested in that way. I mean, it could be that you're getting quite a bit of facial hair going on now, or it could be that he's got something against Orpheans, or it could be that he just doesn't find you attractive. Any number of things.
I'm going to.
You don't think that's the approach? Hasn't seemed to work.
Is it
I'm going to begin the day with a shave, if that's possible.
I don't know how you do that. Have you brought a razor?
I have my knife.
Have your knife? Okay, fair
I have
enough.
my mono knife. I brought that with me.
You're going to have a shave with a mono knife?
Yeah.
Okay, I would like you to make, please, an agility test at plus 30. Don't worry, you won't chop your face off.
And that was how Quintius died.
Oh, unless you do, of course. If you roll 100, it might go pretty bad.
Yes.
Okay, so you shave yourself. You're very careful, and you don't nick yourself.
Okay, and then I'm going to, as I go about my day, I'm going to try and speak to Growler.
Okay,
and I'm going to say to him, Mr. Growler, sir. I don't know why I'm speaking in Tommy Lee's voice. I said, Mr. Growler, sir, if you ain't busy tonight, I was wondering if you fancied going to drink in the Crow. No funny business. It's just, I don't know too many people on the ship.
And he says to you, well, those loaders we normally drink down in the den. Instead, loaders stick with loaders. You want to go to the Crow? I mean, it's a bit more raucous down there, but we can go if you want.
Well, I heard about it. You see, I heard people talking about it. I ain't never been. I wondered if you fancy joining me.
And he goes, yeah, sure. Why not? So he agrees to go with the Crow with you later after your shift.
Okay. And then I'm going to, when I've got a quiet moment at the toilet or so, I'm going to give a Jan, Arnold, Alexa, tonight, be in the Crow. I'm bringing someone you might like to meet.
Okay. So you're going to arrange a little gathering at the end of day 8 in the Crow.
Yep.
Okay.
Day 8. I thought it was day 10.
Oh, day 5. You're right.
Yeah.
It's
okay, and then I'm going to spend the rest of the day.
Can't go back in time. It's taken so long to get here.
I'm going to spend the rest of the day. I'm just going to have to keep an eye out for this guy again. I don't really know where else.
Well, yeah, I mean, let's say your space is sticking in your work location. You're carrying on through your job, so you're not abandoning your post really to go look for him. You're staying where you are and hoping that you see him. I'd like you to make an awareness test, please.
Yeah, for now I'm going to stay by my post.
Yeah. That's the approach you've taken. The thing is, if you were to leave your post off searching for him, it might well be remarked upon.
Yes, I'm going to fate point that.
Okay. Yeah, you don't see your quarry all day, and it's been a number of days since you've seen him, and you wonder, is he just in a different location down the port side? He's just working far away from you, or has he gone to ground?
Right, and that's probably...
Has he sensed that Yarn's after him?
Maybe so. That's going to be the whole of Quintus's day, I would have thought, until we get to the evening.
Okay, fair enough. Well, Quintius, like I say, what you are doing here is you kind of... you've already kind of built up a rep with the loaders. You've already got your location, but what you're also doing is working towards strength, because you're just, you're doing a lot of lifting and moving and grunt work, and so you put in some points towards your stats as well.
Cool.
Okay. So a roll for improving stats. I'd like you to make a strength test, please.
My strength is mighty.
Okay, so that's a failure, so you'll still get something, because it's just you get more degree of success, it adds more to it. So it just gives you 1 degree today. So that's Quintus' day 10 until the evening. We've done Yarn, we've done Alexa, we've done Courtney. What about Nixius? I've given some more handouts in the power play section for Nixios and all the other NPCs. Nixius, he can do a little bit of crafting. He can train, improve reputation. He can train pilots. He can research. He's very gifted at research in the librarian. He's all right at social, aspects. I'll put a summary of what power play options are as well, or anything that you can think of that's outside of this. You're welcome.
Yeah, let me think on next.
That's fine. We can just leave that for now. Have a little think. Where you want to go with him over time.
Well, we did want armor and things making, didn't we?
Nix doesn't have armor smith or anything like that, though, does he? He's got.
No. He needed some really to get on, and I think Laura says she could help with the.
Oh yeah. That was something I meant to do.
Yeah, there was a few things really that we wanted to meet up about, and I'm not sure we actually did any of those except but
what you're saying is a hot mess. No, we did discuss the armor, and Laura said that she'd be able to get some.
Yeah, it rings a bell.
And also Alexa took some measurements, so we did do that bit. But what we never resolved was Laura going off to the armory. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say that Alexa didn't spend a full day on power play, and I'll role play that bit of her when we come to the next game. And Alexa and Laura will go off to the armory and get some carapace.
I'll tell you what though, Jan will pass on to Nix, because Jan went to search, didn't he, regarding information about the cult.
He did.
So,
he couldn't find anything. It was like it's all been expunged from.
He's going to see if Nix can find anything. He's going to say, hush, hush, keep this on the down low. Got a feeling that there might be some kind of secret handshake style cult going on the ship. That might be part of a larger conspiracy. See if you can discover anything. Or discover anything about the Lucius's kind of past.
Okay.
Or if everything's just been expunged, if there's nothing there at all.
Okay. So, what about Tommy Lee? What's he doing on day 10, please, Dave?
Tommy Lee is going to spend a considerable amount of time continuing to paint Alexa's armor, which I started to do before and didn't do a very good job of.
You did not.
And I'm going to
helm, you know.
Yeah, I'm going to start with the helm. I'm just going to send you a little message in Roll20, Alan.
Whispers tell lies. Okay.
This.
I would like you, please, to make a trade artist roll.
I'm real good at the painting.
I would like you to add a plus 10 for an assist.
Oh, assist. Well, that's mighty kind of you. I failed. God damn it! I'm gonna use my fate point. I think I've got one. Yeah. I'm gonna have to roll that again. I'm gonna click over here a little and move that way and scroll. Yeah, just gonna. Oh no, that's the wrong window. There we go. Oh my. Well. Oh well, that's better than the kick in the balls.
I really must insist, please, that you make an ill fortune test for your malignancy.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah. Oh, shit. Yeah, I have to roll a D10, don't I?
Do indeed.
Well, fuck me.
I don't know. Is that good or bad? I don't know which way it works.
I think that's bad.
Oh, no.
Just a second. Yeah, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
So that's still a fail. 0.8 of a degree of failure.
Sorry, Dave.
Against myself, I must accept responsibility.
Yep. I say it's a good job you got Yarn to avoid that malignancy, James, because you'd fucking hate it.
Yeah, I know I would. Yeah. Thanks for letting me. Yes.
Well, no, it's another way of taxing fate points. I mean, it's the fate points are a resource, so
Yeah, it's
it's
goes back down to one really kind of gimp charm, but it's still got that slight lifeline.
yeah, and you still got spare life almost.
One is like it's a big help. You can burn something without consequence, really. Keep that one for something horrific.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say they're like spare lives in combat, aren't they? So every time you use a fate point, it has to mean
just
something.
Psychics, you can't give it up. You gotta have that lifeline there, or summon a demon.
I don't know what you're talking about. I only have one fate point and I use it well. I can actually spend my one fate point 60% of the time without any incident.
60% of the time, every time.
Whole pantheon of prickle demons.
Okay, so Tommy Lee, you finish painting Alexa's carapace helmet, and you think it looks great.
I'm pleased with my work.
Just stand by it.
Okay, so Tommy Lee spent about a day and a half painting. Okay, so there's stuff we're going to do next time. I think that we'll probably leave it there. So Nick's your investigation thing. I'll maybe do a bit of work on that, and it's something that I'll have something a bit more in depth for you for next time. But what I'd like to do is to make a roll first to see how well it goes. So let's have a look what you've got and what would be the correct skill. I've been waiting to use that explosive collar sound effect for a while.
I just found Luke a bit of a whiny twat. He was pissing me off.
Well, in fairness, if Arnold had never come into the equation, you had recruited him in effect. Like Dave did the hard part. He made like a spawny roll, I think, and got him on board.
Yeah.
And then Arnold came and fucked it for you guys. And,
I offered him some cheese.
Yeah. You did. You brought him on board with cheese, and also you're kind of a peer of these Orpheans. So anyway, then Arnold came along and just goaded him. And I mean, obviously that's going to undo all the good work.
Such a crazy goose is Hardy.
He's such a crazy goose. Dear me. Okay, so I think have you really got plus 20 awareness? Where's all that come from?
Because I want to be able to go in and search things and search for loot and get the best bits and bobs.
I didn't realise you could get it. Is that because it's an adept thing, is it?
I think so, yeah. I think
normally can't get it, so
yeah. It's one of the core things that I could get my hands on.
It's quite hard to get at that level, I think. So
I think adepts do have access to some stuff that others don't.
Aren't you a Verispex adept or something?
I am, yeah. Yeah, but there isn't actually a great deal. I don't know if I got it from Verispex or if I just got it from the normal line.
Plus 20 is normally.
It says here Chirurgan, so I guess that's normal, is it?
It's plus 4. Rank 4. It's available plus 20.
Yeah.
For adepts.
Yep. I thought so. There wasn't actually a great deal that I wanted from Verispex. Now I look back on it. I think I probably just want to go down the normal route. But anyway, I'm not even sure if I've gotten anything from it.
I think there's a couple of things on there that are really useful that you'd either get much later or adepts don't have access to otherwise.
Yeah, Master Shogun as well, I think I got that.
Nixius, I'd like you please to roll an intelligence test with +10 for logic.
Okay. Oh yeah, I put it in little brackets where I got it from. Anyway. So, right. Let's not
Okay.
read that first.
Yeah, that's not a good idea. I was about to say,
May as well.
you leave with nothing.
Getting late. Okay, so what up to?
Okay, so Nixius, you go through the database, and it seems like every reference to this cult that Jarn's spoken of seems that you can't find anything. But then, late into the night, you do find something. And I'm going to wait until next game before then I can write something up in the meantime. So I think we'll probably end up leaving the game here. It's 11 o'clock.
Yep.
So thanks guys. It's been a blast, and well, it's been 2 hours of a blast, and 2 hours.
Yeah, but like it was good to get everyone back on. I feel like I feel better. If I'm honest. I feel more into the game just for that design.
Cool.
Just finding out actually, I suppose, where everyone else stood as well. It was good.
Cool.
I stood nowhere and everywhere all at once,
Yes.
and I will remain in that position.
Okay. But yeah, I'm glad because I think it's the only way I could see where both Cell 53 and Cell 54 got to carry on.
Yeah.
In the same format, and that I got to all the work I'd done over the last year on the ship didn't really go to waste.
Yeah.
So for me, it was my favourite.
Yeah.
But equally, it wasn't. I would
really enjoyed going neutral, but that wouldn't.
I would have changed tack if everyone wanted to, but neutral has its own problems anyway. That Johnny said, it's kind of rudderless in a sense. It's it's even though this is a sandbox, it still has a plot where it's moving towards to an end game. You know what I mean? And
sandbox only goes so far, doesn't it? You know.
When Johnny was saying why he didn't like the idea of neutral, I was sort of going to say, I'm not really bothered, which I did say. But when Johnny sort of explained that was what made me sort of say, if I had to pick one path that I'd be least interested in, it'd be neutral, and that's the reason. And it's like, even with instruction and guidance and structure like we have now, we can't always decide very easily on the path forward. So imagine if we went down the neutral path where we'd have even less structure. We'd all be pulling in a different direction, I think. And I think it might have ruined the game a bit. But
yeah. But I mean, well, it might. We might have made. I think we'd have made it work. But I think for me, it was my least favourite option.
Yeah.
And I think Johnny really amused me when he just kept flip-flopping.
Yeah.
He literally flipped from one to the other.
In 5 minutes.
To get him to turn away from the path of chaos, and then every quarter of an hour he changes his mind. No,
I did find it hilarious. It was the thing was first of all he said, "Oh well, we all say let's discount the lawful path," and you all agreed on it, and then immediately Johnny was like, "Right, lawful path." He was like, but the thing was, James was to him, and he just didn't listen to him, and then he went the actual opposite of him.
Maybe it's just you just need to employ classic reverse psychology.
Yeah.
We're definitely not doing that. We refuse to do that. And then Johnny's like, "Oh, let's do that."
we ought to do that in character in the game. Arnie, Jan, and Quintia sort of gang up on Alexa, where we employ reverse psychology to get Alexa to do things.
I'm just going to make some notes, see if I can make any of my notes useful. So you're going to have a gathering in the Crow.
Yeah.
End day 10.
What was that? What were those spells you were on about, Dave? Where were they? You say they're in the Inquisitor's Handbook.
No, there's some in the Radicals Handbook, and
Yeah.
there's also some in Disciples of the Dark Gods.
And there's also some in Black Crusade.
Yes, there is, but I didn't assume that they'd be included in the game. What would it be in a slightly different book? But I think you have to kind of get the GM's permission to take them because they're arcana rather than psychic powers.
Sorcery, right?
Yeah, and there's other talents that you need to take to make them effective. For one of them, I think that might be the ones in Disciples of the Dark Gods. I can't remember, but if you have a look in those books, you'll see them.
I did
it kind of gives Jan a. I've struggled finding power play for Jan, or really knowing where to go. And fortunately, I think it's going to be this book.
Yeah, study some dark shit.
I've got a little handout here which I did ages and ages ago, and then it just got ditched. So, but yeah, there's various paths to study from this book.
Yeah,
sorcery, ritual, the miasma itself, the beggar world, or something else you can think of. But yeah, there's
gonna have to go in deep.
Okay.
I mean, you did say you were considering taking biomancy powers next, James. Isn't there a power where you can